Honestly, VIP Daniel, you're right. It's nothing against Succession at all. Having only seen like 4 episodes of season one, which I enjoyed, but then just washed out of because I had other things going on. Seasons 1 to 3, people were like, "Oh, I love the tight writing. I love the way the family takes snipes at each other. I love the way that there's no sympathetic characters because maybe sometimes that's what life is like in an organization like this." Season 4, oh my God, Greg heads, where we at? My Kendall, Team Kendall, we're so back. It's so over. We're so back. Shiv stands, how we feeling tonight? But you know what I realized, I think, is that and it's taken me 8+ years, maybe more, to really like I could tell you this, but until you feel it yourself in your bones, it's not going to change your behavior. And I know that from my own experience. The average person that annoys you online is either 14 or has the brain of a 14-year-old. The only way you win is by it sounds incredibly rude, but when you see something stupid, like just insanely dumb, like an adult being mad about the Little Mermaid, all you can do is look at that and say, wow, look at this dummy, and then don't really react to it beyond that. Just say to yourself, I'm smarter than this person. You get a little dopamine hit, and then you just move on with the rest of your day. If you let it affect you in a negative way emotionally, you lose. But some of them are actually 14 years old. So like you definitely lose more if you argue with a child. Because as a child, even if you're wrong, you're like, well, at least I'm not an adult arguing with a child, so my life is better. And that's 100% true. It takes a long time to learn that, though. Did you watch the IIHF World Hockey Championship game? No, because I'm not a liar. I know that Canada won, and I told people at the start of the tournament, when Canada wins, Canadians don't care. When Canada loses, Canadians don't care. I'm not going to be like, oh, we don't care about the tournament, then we win. And I'm like, let's go, boys! Let's go! Let's go! I was only lying to protect my emotions when I said that I didn't care. Actually, I cared a lot. No, we won. I saw that we won. I said, of course. And then I said, good job to Germany for making it to the finals. Good job to Latvia for winning bronze. Rip USA. We smoking the red, white, and blue pack. But I was not, I guess I don't know what to say. I was whelmed. The team could not have done, like Team Canada could not have done better and made me happier. It's just the World Championship is not, it's just not something that Canadians tend to really care about. World Juniors, oh yeah. Olympics, well, when they have best on best competition. World Cup of Hockey, if they ever run it again. My team making the Stanley Cup playoffs, a man can dream. I used to care about the World Juniors till I got older than the players. I used to care about the World Juniors till they came to Vancouver. And we bought tickets like a year and a half in advance. And then the fucking Canadian team that they sent was total dog shit. And they lost in the quarterfinals. So they didn't even get to play in the medal match. Any of the medal, not even for bronze. My ass is just out here like I was Rob Lowe at the NFL game, just wearing a hat with a hockey puck on it, cheering on Team Finland versus Team USA in the finals. So they should have let Germany win so somebody's happy. No, Team Germany can eat me because they beat us in the 2018 Olympics. I was at the game. We smoking that Team Germany pack as well. I'm okay with being Team Iceland in the Mighty Ducks too. A lot of Canadians, they find it difficult to embrace villainy because in our own heads, we are like the good guys of the world. So like even we think that in international competitions, like hockey especially, we think that impartial observers should root for us, which is crazy. Can you imagine like being from Latvia and being like, oh, I want Team Canada to win? We're like Thanos. You have to embrace that in which you're a heel. If you're an impartial observer, sure, maybe you could root for Canada in like the World Baseball Classic or the World Cup or something like that. But you're not like gonna go. That's like I'm trying to think of a good example. It's tough though. It's like rooting for the USA in the Olympics when you're not from America. Like, no, everybody that's, at least my perception is everybody that's not from America, they want to see their own country win the gold medal. And if their own country's not going to win the gold medal, they just want to see the best American finish as low as possible. And it's not because they necessarily hate the United States. It's just because, fuck you. You got a lot of people, you got a lot of money, you got a lot of athletes, you put a lot of work into it, you put a lot of emphasis on it. NBC is like the biggest Olympic broadcaster in the world, and they always treat the Americans as the underdogs, and if the Americans lose, it's a tragedy. So you get rooted against because you're Thanos. You can't have a Star Wars without a Darth Vader. You imagine if there was a scene in Star Wars where Darth Vader was talking to the Emperor, and he was like, I don't understand why these rebels fucking hate me. I'm just trying to unite the galaxy, you know? You'd be like, shut up, put the helmet on, and say some nefarious shit. I paid 75 cents for this movie ticket in 1975. Like, let's get entertained. So I embrace being the villain in hockey for sure. Canada's got to be Thanos in a couple other contexts. I don't know what, hockey for sure. I don't know what else. Women's soccer sometimes. Curling. We've been kind of like ass at curling though lately, right? Like we're going like USA hockey mode in curling over the last 7 or 8 years. Let me guess, sushi? I don't even want to say it, man. I don't even want to say it. Out and about in Vancouver this weekend. We were going to have a little picnic in the park, then go to the playground. Feeling like maybe we'll go to the grocery store, get a baguette, get some tapenade, get some charcuterie, some cheeses, maybe a non-alcoholic sparkling cider or something like that the whole family can enjoy. What does my wife say? Oh, look, there's a sushi place. I'm not going to say that that's what happened. So we had sushi. Tell me I'm wrong. I got more controversial sushi takes, by the way. You know when you walk in to a sushi restaurant, whether it's going to be good, bad, or like bad good. Bad is like this restaurant smells bad and the fish is going to taste like laundry detergent. Good is like this tastes good. Bad good is like when you go into a McDonald's and you're like, oh, this food is bad, but I love it. So we walked into the sushi restaurant. I knew it was going to be bad good, which is fine. And don't get me started. Of course, I checked the reviews on Google before I walked in. We just happened to be in the neighborhood. Reviews were 4.2 out of 5, certainly acceptable. One of the reviews, like, listen, I'm not going to say the place's name, okay? I looked at the review. It said, this is my favorite sushi place in Vancouver. I said, brother, what the fuck are you talking about? Just say what you mean, which is like you live in an apartment that's a block and a half away. It's the closest sushi restaurant and it's decent. Don't lie to the people that are going to go there. Be like, oh, I'm expecting the best sushi in the city. Like, that's just ridiculous. Anyway, I knew it was going to be bad good. At a good sushi restaurant, I order fish. At a bad sushi restaurant, I would honestly rather just go someplace else. At a bad good sushi restaurant, here's my take. At a bad good sushi restaurant, the vegetable rolls are where it's at. The vegetable rolls beat the fish rolls. Let me get a yam tempura roll. Let me get some kind of roll with like an avocado in it or some julienne carrots along with it or something like that. I'm not going to... Listen, I'm walking into a place where a sushi combo is like $10.99 Canadian, which is mighty cheap for 2023 in Vancouver. I'm not going to insult you by being like, can I get your finest toro? Hey, what's new today? What's the catch of the day? Give me a fucking yam. Give me a cucumber. Give me something like that. I'm not going to make you embarrass yourself. It's like the first day of ninth grade gym class. I'm not going to load up 225 on the bench and say, let's go, Caden. Let's see what your 1 rep max is. Like, just fucking, you're 13 years old. Do some bicep curls. Follow it up with some hammer curls. Go to the preacher bench. Do some preacher curls. Do 15 minutes of forearm curls, completely ignore your legs, and then, run laps around the gym for the next 45 minutes. Great pics at the park, by the way. You're lucky I love my wife. Why? Because she was taking photos of me at the park, I thought they were for like personal use. Then all of a sudden I go to Twitter and I see photoshopped versions of me at the park. Somebody left a toy katana at the park, and then I picked it up and said, "Kate, somebody left a sword at the park." She said, "Can you pose with it?" I posed with it. She's like, "That's not how you hold it." I held it a different way. She said, "That's okay." She took a photo. She said, "Okay, one more." I swear to you, I looked her in her eyes and said, "Can you hurry up so I can get back to looking after our kid?" Like, I was losing my mind. I thought I was showing her like, I was like, whoa, we got like a shared story here. Somebody left a toy sword at the park. Isn't that weird? All of a sudden, I'm like, walked into like an Austin Powers photo shoot. She's telling me I'm holding the plastic katana wrong. Trying to make sure my kid isn't rubbing her mucus all over the monkey bars or something like that.
Are you holding it like a baseball bat? Can you hold it like actual...
Can you take the photo so I can go back to looking after my child?
Okay. Okay, good.
Favorite burger joint on the I-5? Listen, no disrespect to beef or Washington State. There's a couple things, okay? I don't like burgers that much to be like I don't want to go off of burgers. I've got off of burgers so much. But like, I can't imagine someone like driving a car in America on the highway and then seeing a place that sells burgers and being like, holy shit, a burger place in America? I gotta see this. Like, so I don't get that pogged up for hamburgers to begin with, especially not enough to have stopped at like multiple burger joints along the I-5. The other thing I gotta say is that, like, no disrespect to upstate Washington, if I'm on I-5, my ass does not stop until I get to my destination, unless, I guess, hypothetically, if I was driving to, like, California. But if I'm going Vancouver to Portland, why would I stop? Oh, you gotta check out this Mexican place in Blaine? Like, I'm sure it's fine if you live in Blaine, but like, I got places to go if I'm on the I-5. I'm not just like leisurely driving. I'm 34 years old. You get hungry, then you ask Siri. Maybe don't take this the wrong way. Maybe I'm just like good at planning. When I'm on the I-5, I'm on for 2.5 to 5 hours. I just eat before I go. And then like when we arrive at our destination, we like drop off our bags and then we eat. Like, it's only 5 hours maximum. I'll do you one better. I've never had to stop to piss on the I-5. I willfully sort of like dehydrate myself. I'll wake up, have a cup of coffee, no more fluid till we leave unless it's like in the afternoon. Piss right before I go. I'm en route. Now, have there been times I've had to hold my piss for like an hour and a half? Yeah. But I don't want to pull off, find a spot, pull back onto the highway. Come on. It's messing me up today because crude petroleum and petroleum gas has got me thinking, 57 billion, you got me thinking that this is like Venezuela, but it can't be Venezuela because we had Venezuela. 57 billion is pretty sizable. I feel like we've already had Saudi Arabia. I'm just trying to picture like a coconut growing in Saudi Arabia, and I don't know if I see it, but I feel like we've already had Saudi Arabia, but all signs are pointing to it. Wow, it's not Saudi Arabia. It's like, it's freaking me out. It's in it's in Africa. Really? $57 billion? I'm like, the stream started like 15 minutes ago. My brain is still in like building a tricycle for my kid mode right now. You got to give me a second. I'm picturing the world map. I'm Benedict Cumberbatch, Saudi Arabia, Arabian Peninsula, the Sea of Arabia, sea, the Suez Canal. I mean, I want to say like it's South Africa because it's $57 billion. I feel like South Africa would probably have like a more diversified economy. It's not to say they don't export 60 billion. They may not. But like, I would expect it to not be like 90% petroleum products. lads. It's been a pleasure. It was an honor to fight by your side. I'm so stumped. Slightly closer to Morocco than South Africa. I mean, I'm like, is it Congo? Is it Nigeria? Nigeria's probably got a lot of exports. Oh! Okay, we got there. 60 billion! Nigeria, good for you. So much petroleum? Why does that sound like a Jackbox, like AI-generated prompt? Don't even get me started on the Bill Gates and Socrates podcast. These guys know that's not Bill Gates and Socrates, right? They know it's one computer talking to itself.
Ah, my dear friend Bill, I see you have brought a device with you today. What purpose does it serve?
Greetings, Socrates. This is a laptop, a marvel of modern technology. It harbors an artificial intelligence that can revolutionize heuristic education.
No disrespect, can you imagine how big of a loser you'd have to be to ever watch an AI-generated podcast between Bill Gates and Socrates? It's because it's not Bill Gates and Socrates. It's a computer talking to itself, man. I don't know how else to explain it. I'm putting it in the simplest terms possible. All the comments are like, this sucks, and then the replies are like, it's going to get better. It doesn't matter how good it gets. I mean, I know that most people here know that, but like, no matter how good it gets, it's never going to be Socrates. Like, you got to do, like, I'm not saying AI has no purpose. I'm just saying that's the dumbest purpose of all time. It's like inventing like the internal combustion engine and being like, look, it can run a vacuum cleaner badly. And you're like, I don't want the fucking fumes in my house. I'll just put it in my car. Strap some axles and some wheels on it. Let's go to town. It doesn't have to do everything. It doesn't have to power my damn dishwasher. Okay, we're going to start with Nigeria. Give me Tunisia. That's warmer, but not as warm as Nigeria. Makes sense. I guess, like, climatologically, I would assume. Although I have to imagine Tunisia is pretty nice, too. In that case, let me get a Senegal. Ooh, it's adjacent to the answer. I'm fucked. It's Burkina Faso. Here we go. It's Mali. Mali's warmer, but not adjacent. It's probably Cote d'Ivoire. That's cooler. I'm going to say, if I had to guess, it's probably Cameroon. Okay. It's Liberia in all likelihood. That's warmer. It's Sierra Leone. Is it Equatorial Guinea? Guinea-Bissau? Oh, okay, thank God. Oh. 3 weeks ago, I would not have gotten that. I would have had to ask chat. So we're getting there. Get here. We got you. It's an evergreen meme. Every time I see it, I laugh. Senegal, Guinea, Mali, Sierra Leone, Liberia, the Ivory Coast. Put your hands up. We got you surrounded. I'm Guinea-Bissau. The Slovakia one got me really good. Yeah, I know. Thank you. For once, I wasn't like completely off with many of my guesses. I mean, technically the Democratic Republic of Congo, I was really off, but that was before I guessed, that was before I knew what direction it was even in. This seems pretty easy, but I'm washed. I feel like this is Northern Africa or like the Levant. Are you like Syria? Oh! Yeah, all that time is the Mamluks in Europa Universalis 4. All right, now to the movies. November 13th, 2009, I was in my final year of university. $65 million opening from Sony Pictures. Is it possible that this is the opening for Avatar 1? No. Okay. Well, noted. Let's get some tips from Sony. The genre is action, adventure, science fiction. The actor is John Cusack. This is 2012. I know, it's weird. It came out in 2009. We were warned. Okay, say what you will about 2012. It's not a good movie. Also, I've only seen it on TV, so I don't remember much. But I do seem to remember that a lady's husband gets like ground up in like an automatic door or something like that. He gets turned into like ground beef, basically. And then like 10 minutes later, she falls in love with John Cusack, which is crazy. Like an adult made this movie. Anyway, 100% that is what happened. You would do the same? Well, I guess I've never been under that kind of duress before. Never had to knock on wood. Just imagining that while a dude gets ground up in the human hamburger. But I know someone who has, and I'm sure it isn't good. If they say, wonder if I never. Anyway, that being said, the teaser for 2012 went hard as hell. You knew it was going to suck ass because it was Roland Emmerich, but the teaser where it starts with like the Buddhist monk in the tower like ringing the bell, and you're like, whoa, what's this guy doing? This movie looks boring as hell. And then like the huge tidal wave comes up to like the 300-meter tall tower and knocks it over. You're like, oh man. But you had to have a little bit of media literacy. You're like, good teaser, do not pay $15 to go see the movie. This could be like a scary movie. This could be it's a little late for Halloween. Genre? Oh, a war comedy from Overture Films. So I want to say it's like Meet the Spartans, but it's too late. George Clooney war comedy, The Men Who Stare at Goats. You got it right there, okay? I've never seen it. I don't know how that exists in my brain, but I think that's like locked into my brain because I remember at Christmas, must have been 2009, my grandpa was like, oh, I watched that Men Who Stare at Goats movie. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't know why that's stuck in my head, but it's in there. Okay, Rollerball, great movie. Chris Klein, Rebecca Romaine, Hold the Stamos, LL Cool J, Deepest Bluest, My Hat is Like a Shark's Fin, and Highlander 2, The Quickening, another great movie. You got Christopher Lambert in that, and of course Sean Connery. Sean Connery is probably going to be your connection there. Am I crazy to think, one second here, there's a connection, here. It's like Rebecca Romaine, Hold the Stamos, to X-Men, to somehow we can get to like Indiana Jones or League of Extraordinary Gentlemen or Finding Forrester. What the hell else was Sean Connery in my lifespan? Highlander 1. I can't even, Christopher Lambert, he's just like, I know him from Highlander and then also bad video game movie. You know what? It's probably easier for us to just reverse this one and see if maybe there's an actor in Highlander 2 that I'm not familiar with. Oh, I forgot Virginia Madsen. Okay, hang on. This is opening up a lot of doors to us. Rusty Schwimmer, huh? Okay. John C. McGinley can get you to Office Space. Michael Ironside can get you to Starship Troopers, which gets you to like Denise. Wait, hang on. Michael Ironside, Starship Troopers, Denise Richards, The World Is Not Enough, and then the old-ass dude who played Q, Desmond Llewellyn, Dr. No, okay, Goldfinger, 1964, Sean Connery, The Highlander, sorry, not the, Highlander 2, The Quickening. I went backwards. I went there and back again, A Hobbit's Tale. How the hell, I was trying to, right around here, which is step 2, I forgot that I was trying to get to Sean Connery, or I forgot that I was trying to get to like, Denise, wait, no, I don't even know where I was going on. I was just being straight up with you. I don't know where the fuck I was going. You're right. It took me 4 steps to connect the movie to itself. As I'm going to pay the Giamatti tax as a result of my idiocy, I'm going to go Virginia Madsen to Sideways. I'm going to take you to Paul Giamatti. This is us paying the Giamatti tax. Now, Chris Klein. He's in Election. Great movie. Matthew Broderick, Reese Witherspoon. Directed by Alexander Payne, who, strangely enough, wait a minute, was married to fucking Virginia Madsen, right? Who did Paul Giamatti's in Sideways, also directed by Alexander Payne. Then LL Cool J, Deep Blue Sea. You got Samuel L. Jackson involved there. I'm thinking, was Jesse Plemons in Jungle Cruise? He was in Jungle Cruise, dude. I was like, because my nieces watched this on Disney Plus when they were here once, and I was like, there's an actor in this movie who's too fucking good to be here. And then I was like, it's Jesse Plemons. Okay, anyway. Sorry, I got lost in the sauce a little bit. Okay, it's actually, what's crazy about it is how easy it is. You're going to go Emily Blunt, who's in A Quiet Place Part 2, which also does have, well, hang on here, hang on. I know where we must go. Jimon, wait, no, we can't get out of the, give me a second here. I was going to go John Krasinski. We're going John Krasinski. Where am I trying to go again? I'm trying to get the Rebecca Romaine Stamos, man. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. We're going, okay, John Krasinski, Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch, Infinity War, Samuel L. Jackson, Deep Blue Sea, LL Cool J, Rollerball. Easy. Okay, let's look at the shortest distance. Rollerball, LL Cool J, Any Given Sunday, John C. McGinley, Highlander 2. Well, in some ways that's better than 11, I suppose. You got there, but did you pass Paul Giamatti along the way? I don't know. I don't think so. The Sims? The Sims 3? Okay. Dude, there was a tweet that got the rare good tweet that the For You page surfaced. I guess there's a not safe for work mod for The Sims 4. And this is the context you need to understand this tweet. And the tweet was just, the text said, my roommate in The Sims got a promotion, and when she came home, my dude just started eating her ass. And then it was just a naked lady, like with her legs spread, and the dude was eating her ass from the back in The Sims. And then the replies were like, oh my God, I love the Wicked Whims mod. Check this out. And it was just like two Sims fucking. And then the one Sim like pulls out his you know what and then ejaculates all over her back. I'm like, what the hell is going on, man? What are people doing in The Sims these days? And then the other replies were like, oh my God, when I was a kid, The Sims let you woohoo, but they were always underneath a blanket. And I'm like, you're dumb! Your ass is stupid! Can't just buy that shit at Best Buy. Are you crazy? It's a striking, gripping film for most of its length, with Wenders and cinematographer Robbie Mueller showing a great love and fascination for the land, almost as if their European upbringings had made them slightly envious of the wide open spaces. It's Lorenzo's Oil. A deeply moving yet kind Western, Blank captures a place and people like never before or after. So we were on the right track with City Slickers then. True Grit. Paris, Texas. This one's freaking me out because there's another. I've heard that Paris, Texas is really good, but there's another movie called Paris, Texas from like 2001 starring Steve Zahn that is the only Paris, Texas that I've ever seen. So every time I see people online talking about Paris, Texas, and they're like, oh, it's one of my favorite movies, I'm like, really? The Steve Zahn movie? I do love Steve Zahn. That's Happy Texas. You're so right. I've been laboring under that assumption for 15 years. Okay, it's good to know. That's Happy Texas. Not Paris, Texas. Okay, hang on. Happy Texas. Let me just, it's a 1999 film starring Steve Zahn and William H. Macy. 3 prisoners escape from a chain gang, and 2 of them, Wayne and Harry, steal an RV. They discover the RV actually belongs to two gay men who travel around Texas as consultants for beauty pageants. They are apprehended by Chappie Dent, the sheriff of Happy, Texas, who mistakes the escapees for the pageant organizers. Posing as the organizers, Wayne and Harry proceed to help out with the pageant while hiding from the law and waiting for an opportunity to rob the local bank. You could see why I was confused that this was like a movie that people were talking about online as if it's one of the best movies ever made. The duo's scheme is complicated by the fact that Chappie himself is gay and is attracted to the prisoner Harry. Straight Harry, on the other hand, becomes attracted to Josephine, the president of the bank. Meanwhile, gay David, who's also straight, gets involved with the local pageant coordinator, Doreen. By the day of the big pageant, the third escaped convict has surfaced, leading Wayne and Harry to organize a break-in during the show. Harry calls in more police, and in the process, all three are apprehended. In the last scene, the pageant group that Wayne helped train come to the prison to show them the closing number in the costumes he made. What a great movie. Budget 1.75 mil, box office 1.9 mil. Critical reception. Oh, certified 81% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. Ooh. I liked it a lot when I was 12 years old, and now I'm vindicated. This is Lance Armstrong at the first Tour de France. And say this is like Belgium, 1914. I'm crazy. This is, I know we've talked about this before, and this is basically something I just stole from Twitter. How crazy is it that like Jason Alexander in Seinfeld was like, they poke fun at him for being overweight in like every episode. And in 2023, he literally just looks like a guy. Like there's some scenes where you look at George and I'm like, dude, as a kid, I was like, this guy's like an oaf. As an adult, I'm like, he's got some fit, man. He's got some drip. He's just a normal guy. Like there's nothing unusual about it at all. Jerry is like, he's skinny even by normal man standards. Like Jerry's got to be like 6'1", 165 or something like that. Like he's a pool noodle. George, I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to body shame him. He's probably, maybe he's like 5'6", like 185, something like that. But still, that's just like a normal guy in the modern era. Yeah, people would be posting, these days, they would be posting images of Jason Alexander on Twitter, and the caption would just say, "Hear me out." Not with that hair. No, but with like the bicycle hats on, man, for sure. For sure. You see the picture of John Goodman from the Flintstones that just says, "Hear me out"? John Goodman looks like, young John Goodman, like 30s, 40s John Goodman, looks like the kind of guy who could crush a man's skull in his hand. He looks like a professional arm wrestler who's never stepped foot in a gym, which is scary as hell. Like, that's just like, that strength came from God. That didn't come from work. It just came, like, he was just born fucking strong, dude. That's crazy. Anyway, this is not 1960. This has got to be like 1992. 1989, I'll take that. Vote equals power. This is weird, because, like, are they really... To me, this looks like they're talking about the U.S. federal election. Maybe this is where, like, expats can vote. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But if that's the case, this doesn't look like a photo from 2016 or 2020. It looks like a photo from 2012 or 2008. But I'm going to say it's 2012. It's 2004. Holy cow. And it's literally just New York. Oh, okay. Well, fair enough. This is Mads Mikkelsen and Ava Green and Daniel Craig. This is the press tour for Casino Royale circa 2006. Now, what I was going to say is everybody gets mad at me because I disrespect the Netherlands. Anytime I see a canal, I'm like, oh, it's Venice. So I'm like, Amsterdam. But then I'm like, I see the Danish flags, and I'm like, this is definitely Copenhagen. And I know Mads Mikkelsen is Danish, too. Also, this is like straight up, this is 2006 drip, man. This is so good. The black jeans and the leather jacket with the racing stripes, that's 2006, baby. I know some people are like, it never left. Some people never left. But I would say that this, being the eminent style of menswear, has definitely left. And that's okay. Mads Mikkelsen, Eva Green, and Daniel Craig at a press event for Casino Royale in Copenhagen. Okay, 9987. We definitely take those. Jeez. It's Albert Einstein. I was like, I was like, who is this guy? Who's this motherfucker right here? This is Albert Einstein receiving an honorary degree in the place in America where every school is. So roughly here to here. Let's call this Princeton. I feel like Albert Einstein is associated with Princeton, which is in New Jersey somewhere. Probably Princeton, New Jersey. I'll just level with you. I don't know where that is. Maybe he's not, maybe this isn't Princeton, but I'm going to assume it's Princeton. You're at Princeton University circa 1950. That's Oxford, and it's 1931. Well, that makes up for the last score. Okay. This is, there's a lot of clues here. Waitress, the movie came out in like 2007, converted to a Broadway musical. We're talking early 2010s. This dude is like, come on, man, really? You must be born again, John 3:1-21. Everyone's just laughing at this guy. Oh, man, they're just laughing at him. But just like, I get it, but this picture is giving me anxiety, man. Like, every face is like, she's like, oh, honey. This guy's like, I gotta see this. This guy, he's cutting up. Boo. And his girlfriend's like, don't do that. And then this guy's just like, he's got some sympathy. He's been there before. She's not really that concerned about this. She's just taking in the sights. This guy, you know, again, he's just kind of like, I gotta see what's happening here. Winner, Tony Award Best Musical Revival. And American Eagle was still popping off. I got to assume this is early 2010s. This men's fashion, I feel like this is 2012 era men's fashion. So I'm going 2012 Times Square, New York. Everybody's rocking a button up with khaki shorts. It was 2018. Holy cow. This is 2018? I was going to say, where are they now? But now I'm like, they're here, man. They're here. It's Paris, 1908. Can I tell you, I know I'm going to seem like it's 1923. Okay. I'm genuinely not that anti-AI, okay? I'm pro AI for automating tasks that human beings find tedious to do. I'm anti-AI because like 99.9% of the AI stuff that I see on Twitter is always like, look at how we can use it to replace like real art with a facsimile that's fucking soulless, okay? People will, on Twitter now, people will post like a historical photo that's in black and white. They'll be like, check it out. This is the world's first photograph ever taken. This is the Archduke fucking, who gives a shit, Theodosius from 1863 posing in front of what, like the diocese of who cares, right? And it's incredible. This is like for the first time in human history, man built a machine that could capture a moment in time, but it's not in color. You can still see what it is, but it's not in color. People will reply, hey, colorized bot, can you hook us up here? And then a fucking robot goes in and goes beep, 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 and puts like a fucking fresco filter on it and like removes some of the noise and stuff like that. And it's like, here you go. Here are the filters that I use to colorize this historical photo and make it look like complete ass. If you like this and you want to see more of it, consider buying me a cup of coffee. I'm like, you're a robot, buddy. I'm not going to buy you a piece of coffee for stripping all the context out of like an incredible historical artifact. This is Portland during the crazy wildfires that were there in like 2020. Nope, that's Australia. Yo, dude, it's so fucking freaky. It's like, looks like the apocalypse and our score was 2012. What? Why are you acting like the robot destroyed the photo? The robot, I mean, it didn't destroy the original, but like it desecrated the photo. How small does your brain have to be like, wow, great picture, shame there's no colors in it. Let's just insert some colors where there weren't any before. It's like you got a black and white photo and then you're just like, I understand the historical importance of this. Like, and I can appreciate that on like an intellectual level, but my brain would just like it more if I just, and I'm going to give you, I'm going to give you brown hair and then I'm really going to make this part in the background pop. It doesn't make it better. It's like your ass is like, thank God they remade Ben-Hur. Ooh, Ben-Hur, but shot on an IMAX camera. Ooh. It would just be interesting to see. Well, there's about 1 million bots on Twitter. You know, it's just one man's opinion. I'd be happy to recommend some to you. Literally make one tweet about AI, close the tab, reopen the tab, and then click on anything that gets shown in your For You page. I was legitimately like rinsed today. I didn't know what the hell to play. I went to this weekly's top 50 on Steam, and I was like, oh, right, Halls of Torment. I said I was going to play it. Also, I know like I shouldn't even do this because this is like, it's too much into the anti-AI bit, but there was like a new card game came out, and I was like, oh, that could be cool. Then I saw that it was VR only, and then I was like, fuck, marry, kill. Crypto bros, VR bros, AI bros. I think I have to fucking... I have to fuck the AI bros and marry the VR bros and then to the crypto bros, I think, is the way that it'd have to go. I'm not trying to be a hater. We welcome people of all stars and stripes here. Hello, Kate. Hello. Thank you for the resubscription. 119 months. Crazy. We just celebrated our 9-year wedding anniversary, too. Congrats. Oh, when the stand-up comedian says... he's been married for 9 years, and then everybody claps, and then he says, oh, you didn't have to do that? What about, dude, this looks interesting. Positive, no, 100% of the 43 reviews are positive. Hey, we need a captain. Drive the cruise ship with the on-screen rudder, avoid obstacles, take it easy, or take the challenge. This game was born in a jam I organized. I declared it one of the winners for being simple, original, and outright fun. This is an improved version of it. Like Google Earth, but prettier. Like traveling around the Earth, but cheaper. Like Instagram, but funnier. Travel around the world for a few bucks. To my knowledge, the best drifting sim on Steam. Beginners can drive fast in a straight line. Intermediate drivers can master corners, but truly advanced drivers find their own course, and that's how they get ahead. That's a quote from Ryosuke Takahashi. Does anyone know what is... Dude, how about this? As a person who worked on a merchant vessel as a helmsman who steers wheel and executes rudder orders from the captain and pilot, I can say this is a very funny and kind of realistic game. Steering a big vessel is not like driving a car. 10 out of 10 would recommend. You know what's crazy? People always be like, oh, my job's so hard, I steer a ship. I'm going to say is on the Disney cruise, they have like a little virtual reality cruise spot where you can pretend to be the captain and drive the boat. I did all the challenges on like hardest difficulty the first time. I'm not saying it was the smoothest ride for the passengers, but this shit was literally, it's like doing the kayak in London. You point your fucking ship at the place where you want to go, and you put the throttle up, and then if you're going too slow and you're confident, you put the throttle up more. And if you're getting like too close to shit, then you put it, you take the throttle off and you adjust. How hard could it be? Anyway, I'm going to play this first. I'm going to play Summer Trip Cruise first. This looks fun. Looks kind of like Poly Bridge meets Carnival Cruise Lines. I've been enjoying the casual games lately. You're killing me with this docket? Just abandon the docket. I could delete it from Nightbot tomorrow. There's only 2 streamers on the planet who have the docket. It's just me and Dan. The stream resists order at all turns. We need the docket. The docket is just annoying because then people come in and they type the docket. Then if I decide I'm not going to follow the docket, people are like mad. They're like, docket's wrong. Okay, then fucking go watch twitch.tv/docket. You love the docket so much. Why don't you marry the docket? I'm trying to be entertaining here, not be like, you know, it's not a coloring book. It's not fill in the blanks. We're making it up as we go. It's generative work. Hang on, it's loading. Ooh. I love when a song does this. Ooh. When you and your friends have to save the world from the apocalypse by gathering 17 different types of materia, but then also like, oh, it's disc 2. We got to go to the beach for a minute. Hey, Cloud. All this saving the world stuff has really taken it out of me. It's so nice to just have a relaxing day at the beach. What kind of soda can I get you? Ah, you're so funny, Cloud. I'll be back with a Nibelheim shooter. Anyway, we have fun here. Summer cruise. Summer trip cruise. There you go. / marker. Summer trip cruise. All aboard! You have won a free opportunity. You ever get those phone calls back in the day? Nowadays, they just try to steal your identity in the voicemail. You have one new voicemail. You press the button. It's like, give me your social security number. Back in the day, they used to try to trick you by being like, you won a free cruise. And then if you were like, yay, they'd be like, all right, all you have to do is give me your social security number. We used to be a proper country. Anyway, this is Summer Trip Cruise. We just decided to play it. It's got 100% positive reviews on Steam. It is a game where you drive a cruise ship using on-screen mouse controls. We're going to start in Greece. It's level 1. Let's start the trip up here. It do be going... Wah. Full throttle, baby. And then I love a game where you steer with like an unusual... I mean, it's not unusual, it's a steering wheel, but most games would be like, just use the joystick. Here, we're going to take it a little down. We're going to take a photo of this lighthouse. I'm going to cruise it around, take a little photo of this lighthouse. Quick, okay, we maybe throw it in reverse real quick. We're not crashing. If you think you're going to crash in a boat, just hit the brakes. Like, I know I've said this a few times before, but like, if my ass was the captain of the Titanic, I'm sorry to say, like, it wouldn't have gone down like that. My ass is like not getting beat by an iceberg. I'll probably just hit restart level on this one. We want to try to do it in 30 seconds, right? So let's start by aiming ourselves appropriately. Is this like a super turbo boost? Now you got to start the correction a little earlier than you'd expect. And then frickin' send it, bro! Oh! Go, no! Took out a chunk of the stern. Maybe we'll just try to take control of the wheel here. That seems like a reasonable option as well. Oh, this is beautiful. And then straight on till morning. Whoa, lay down, Sally. I don't know where that came from. Dude, let's go! Okay. Might get a little seasick, but there you go. Can I see, are there online leaderboards for this? Well, you don't have to get the photo, you just have to make it to the end. We got everything. Okay, take a photo right here. Dude, that's a freaking tough swing right there, boys. That's not easy. And then gun it. Oh. People are screaming or whatever. Must have been a great photo. And then gun it. No, no, no! Make a nose! And we're overtime. That was what Pirate Night was like. Okay, I know what we gotta do. Your ass is going to prison. Holy cow, this water's got a lot of inertia on it today. What's the oil pattern like? Restart the level. It did say 1048 dead. Imagine if we just drove the boat straight, huh? That'd be something. That'd be a neat trick. Everybody's dead. We blew off the damn smokestack. Just go slow. It's a cruise, not a snail. I don't know. Okay, you're right. Go a little slower. Maybe we don't have to go full throttle all the time. I thought this was an IRL stream. No, you will never go on vacation with me. It's better we just get that out of the way immediately. I'm just not that kind of guy. If I was 24, maybe. Kate did it a little in Korea. Kate's not me. We're two different individuals, believe it or not. Kate's not really like a self-hating influencer. I'm kind of like a reluctant influencer. Like, if there was a way that I could get paid, like, without doing the work, you can make it. You can make it, little bro. You can make it. That would really be like the dream. If you find out, please let us know. If I find out, you'll never hear from me ever again. I'm mostly joking. But no, definitely, I'm never doing like an IRL stream on vacation. It's the last thing I need. I'm enjoying like a nice meal or something like that. Suck Your Own Penis has just donated $10. Whoa, this stream is so poggers. You should tell everybody in the restaurant to die. Wow, that sounds like a great use of my limited amount of recreational time. Hey, everybody, hang on for a second. It's about to get a little bumpy. Scream! No, 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 no! We're all dead for sure. 3,200 tourists have died. Alright, that's tough. We should probably go a little slower there. Also, I recognize this is like a boomer take. But like, I don't like appearing in video in public against my will. And I feel like when you're live streaming in public, you're basically doing that to like everybody that you're in the same environment with. Those people are just trying to like enjoy like a nice meal or something like that. Even if you don't have text to speech on and stuff like that. I don't know. It's still just, I'm not comfortable with it. So I don't do it. Hey, okay, wait. I got an idea. Let's do a 3-point turn. Something like this. You turn the wheel in the direction you want to go. Send it out. I mean, that's just like a Costco parking lot classic here. He always finds a way to relate it to Costco. Did you see in the Costco quarterly meeting when they were talking about greedflation? And someone said you could raise the price of the membership and no one would care. And the Costco CEO said, nice try. This is why we stand a company that like slightly cares about the well-being of their customer base. I didn't say fully. I'm not saying Kirkland Signature is your friend. I'm just saying it'd be kind of cool if cars could spin in place. You know, well, like, why don't we have cars where like all four wheels can do their own thing? You know how easy it would be to parallel park? Way more mechanical complexity. Little bro's been coasting on like Henry Ford's inventions since 1906. They're afraid to invent things. Hey, NL, I work for BMW. Don't lump us in there. We made a lot of innovations this year, like charging a subscription fee for heated seats. Okay, sorry. I apologize. I wasn't familiar with your game. Says the Peloton guy. It's okay. I get it. You drive a BMW. Hey, just whoa. Just once. I'm not hating on your car. I just want you to know. Recently, in like the probably the 1940s or something like that, they added these things to your steering wheel. They're called stalks. Usually they'll be on like the left and right side of the steering wheel. What's crazy for me, if you go left hand up on the stalk, it puts this little light on the back of your car that lets the person behind you know that you're about to cut them off. And then if you pull it down, it puts a light on the back side of the other side of your car, which lets oncoming traffic know that you're about to cross a double yellow line to turn left. So if you use that, everybody around you would just have a better time on the road, okay? What does this have to do with the Peloton? I don't, that's the guy who brought up the Peloton. True, but the Peloton thing still stands? You know the Peloton is a bicycle. You're just mad because I PB'd this weekend on my Emma Lovewell 90s rock ride. I mean, did you see the track list? How could you not PB? In the Meantime by Space Hog. Run Around by Blues Traveler. Cherub Rock by Smashing Pumpkins. A bike that needs a subscription, lol. My reaction when the streamer lost 40 pounds riding a bike that can't be hit by a Dodge Ram 1500. LOL! You're exercising financially inefficiently. LOL! We're doing a 20-year study of being completely sedentary, but one day we're going to find the exact optimum point from a price to pound lost ratio, and then we're going to cook you. Oh, wait, no, we'll all be fucking dead before you even get your heart rate above 100. You see how you're a hater. Just you're a dyed-in-the-wool hater. That's fine. Stop trying to hide your hate under the guise of, like, optimization. Just embrace the dark side running through you. You could just be a hater. You don't have to be like, I'm an evidence-based hater. You could just be like an angry guy. That's like most guys. It's just a joke. You might have heard of them. Me when the joke is funny. Ha 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 ha! I wasn't laughing when you made your joke. People tend to laugh when I make jokes. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Couldn't you just stop paying and then just peddle it? Brother, listen. It's the problem of a young man. Sometimes when things are going well, you just gotta get out of your own way, okay? I'm in the best cardiovascular shape of my life. I'm averaging 90 minutes of exercise a day. I'm feeling good. I'm looking good. People are like, yeah, but you could be saving $60 a month and like jeopardizing maybe falling out of the habit that you worked for 18 months to build. But you could be saving $60 a month. Go, go, go. Let me out of here, man. Take a photo? Are you crazy? That's evidence. We're all dead. We're all dead. There's nothing you could do. We got no ship left, brother. It's over. I never thought I would like get to this point this fast in the game. I actually don't think like this is beatable for me. This is not a casual game. I've been lied to. Also, the level is too fucking long. What's the big button for? 2 minutes, 45 seconds is too long for you? Little bro is watching the Olympics, and he's like, what, you can't do the 100-meter dash? It's only 9.47 seconds. It's like less time than it takes me to put on my socks. What about the wheel? This is connected to what's known as a vise. Typically, you use it to hold like two pieces of wood together until the glue between them is dried, or the epoxy or something like that. This wheel has connected to a vise that's connected to the testicles of the president of the cruise company. So every time I spin it to the right, he goes, ooh. And every time I spin it to the left, he goes, ah. And he won't let me stop. I didn't put him here under duress. This is how he gets his thrills. Damn, I need to become a CEO? Don't bother. Here's the thing, as a CEO, there's a number of things you may find yourself paying $60 a month for. And I know that that's antithetical for a lot of chats, so I'm just not gonna, go there. Doctors, when their malpractice insurance is $9,100 a month. No! I just won't mess up, forehead. Have you ever socially smoked cigarettes? No, I think I might have smoked a cigarette with Josh one time. And by smoked a cigarette, I mean like I took one puff and went, why do people do this? But otherwise, I'm part of like the based generation that grew up in like heavily advertised anti-smoking campaigns, but pre the release of vaporizers like the Juul. Millennials kind of got screwed on some things, but we're positioned very well for smoking, I think. While I was driving on Friday, I saw a man driving his car. Like it was an SUV with the windows down, and he was smoking a cigar while driving his car, which I thought was just very humorous to me. I mean, I guess like it's why couldn't you? But then there was just like I was like, I didn't know those guys existed anymore. It was just like, I thought a cigar was like, oh, the day is done. Now to have like a nice cigar and like a glass of scotch in my garage. Until my wife knocks on the door and says, hey, are you coming to bed? And I say, nah, give me a minute. I worked hard. I work for a living. I didn't realize it was just something you're sort of like, hey, work's done. I'm going to have a cigar while I'm like on my commute on the way home. But I don't know that much about cigars. I do have to see like some, they should go full poly bridge and have leaderboards with replays. I would love to just watch people Tokyo Drift every single one of these levels. YouTube exists. My ass is not, I don't care that much. I'm not gonna go to YouTube, type in summer trip cruise speedrun, and then hope that like some kid in Bahrain has uploaded all of his speedruns independently. Like I was thinking that about streaming services. You know where we're at with streaming services? I won't use a streaming service anymore that requires me to log in. Now, because I know the culture of the internet, and we're like so individualistic, it's like, oh, you're lazy. You're too lazy to watch television, is the take that like you with a smooth brain would have. But actually, it's just that there's so, the industry is so oversaturated now that the consumer can afford to be unreasonably picky. Because there's that new show on Amazon Prime, Jury Duty, right? Sounds cool. It's the Joe Schmo show where one person's real, everybody else is actors. Everybody's talking about how good Jury Duty is. I was like, oh, I'll watch that on Netflix. Turns out it's on Amazon Prime. Hadn't watched anything on Amazon Prime in 18 years because nothing good has come out. Go to Amazon Prime, even though they know I'm logged into Amazon. They're like, you have to log into your Prime Video account. I said, fuck it. We're watching Scary Movie 2 on Netflix instead. If you want me to watch your service, there's two ways to do it. You could remove the login page, which I understand you're probably not going to be interested in. Or you could release more good shows so that I stay logged into your service. If there's like 2 shows, I would log in. And then never fucking log me out, because then I'm gone. Is it my room that's hot, or is it the living room that's hot? So you open the door, there's like there's a temperature change.
It's obviously your room that's hot.
My room's hot?
Yeah.
Why is this like 26 in here? It's not hot.
I don't know if that thing is correct.
You don't think that the
No.
thermometer on my clock is correct?
No.
I think it's pretty good.
I don't think it's 26.
I've been putting that in my armpit when I check to see if I have a fever. I was not gonna say armpit at first.
You're gonna say your butthole?
I was gonna say my butthole, yeah. But then I was like, I can't say asshole to my wife. So when Kate said she liked it when it's clean in here, let me tell you a little story. Spring cleaning, right? We're trying to get rid of some of the clutter. So we have this bar cart that used to have some alcohol in it, but then we don't really drink that much anymore, and when we do, we just get some beers instead of making ourselves like an Aperol Spritz, because it's not 2020 anymore. So I was like, we gotta get rid of this bar cart, okay? By the way, Sir Electric, thank you for the raid, thank you. I cleaned off the bar cart, I took all the liquor off of it. It had gone, I know you're gonna say it doesn't go bad, I promise you, this shit had gone bad, okay? Like, it was disgusting. I poured it all out in the sink, washed the bottles, recycled the bottles, cleaned off the whole bar cart. Found a picture of the exact bar cart online, and I said, hey, Corey, do you want this? He said, let me check with my girlfriend, and he said, no, I don't want it. I said, no problem. Then I said, hey, Kate, today we should make a post on like Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace and just give away this bar cart for free, okay? This was Saturday at 9:07 a.m. It's the damn start of the weekend. It's the one thing on my to-do list. Kate says, good idea, okay? Then she says, wait, let me ask my sister if my sister wants it. Sister comes back in 1 second. Boop, I want it. Okay, great. Well, we're not going to drive it to you because you live 3 hours away, but we can like hang on to it, and next time you come over, you can pick it up. Then she starts sending back, can you give me some measurements? Will it fit in our car? Oh, I'm not sure if it'll fit in the trunk. Oh, I don't know if we have a place for it in our house. Can we disassemble it so that we can like fit it into our trunk? We're like, yeah, it's all good. No big deal. This takes us till Sunday morning. Finally on Sunday morning, Kate texted her sister and was like, do you still want it? 5 hours later, we get a reply. No, actually, you guys can just get rid of it. Motherfucker! I had one thing on my to-do list so easy to accomplish for the whole weekend. All you had to do was say no the first time, make a post on Craigslist, free bar cart. It would be locusts outside of our house in like an hour. They'll be like, I'm here, I'll pick it up. No problem, I got it, I want it. People would be beating down our damn door to get it. It's like Sunday at 7 p.m. I'm not making that post. Gotta wait till like next weekend, man. Anyway, it's not like a big deal, but it's kind of annoying. What happened to it? It's still sitting here. Just put it out on the street. I don't think we really do that here. Like, you see it sometimes, but like, I don't know. I feel like when people put furniture out on the street, it's like, basically they're like, I don't know how to throw this away. I'm doing this like to make myself feel good that I'm donating it, but actually like it's just out of sight, out of mind. I got no problem putting it on Craigslist and just being like free if you come pick it up, because at least then they like want it. But like, I'm not gonna put like a piece of furniture out there on the street and then like it rains or something like that, and you know, like, I think it's just littering. Put it out on the street. -2. Okay, actually, it's classist for me to put it out on the street because I live in a pretty nice neighborhood where like we got a lot of people driving BMWs here and paying for their heated seats. So if I put it on Craigslist, that gives the opportunity for people who might not be able to afford their own bar carts to actually get a bar cart and have a nice piece of furniture. So I would be an asshole if I put it out on the street. How do you feel now? You fucking dickhead. I drove through a nice neighborhood once and found a Herman Miller on the side of the road. See, that must have been an office that went out of business. Because if my ass was getting rid of my Herman Miller, I would definitely put it on Craigslist for like $500. There's no shot I'm leaving that. Like the bar cart, whatever. You're not getting the Herman Miller on you know, free if you pick it up Craigslist. Bro, what are you doing? Oh! It's real hard to get off the wall once you find yourself on the wall. That helps. Sometimes you can just get a little bump. He's insane. Look at that. As long as we still got the half with the buffet, I'm chilling, man. How is this boat still going? It's still less dense than water, so it floats. Got a regular Isaac Newton in the chat. That's okay, now we're in trouble. I think I got one more in me. Based and Archimedes pilled. Ever do the bit about how smart you had to be to like invent math? And then like we're like 16 years old in math class going like, this shit is too hard. Sine, cos, tan, how am I supposed to remember 3 things? Meanwhile, Archimedes is like holding up a fucking like leaf and measuring the length of the shadow and going, oh, the Earth's approximately 17,000 kilometers in radius. Shit's fucking crazy, dude. There should be a podcast where Bill Gates talks to Archimedes. That was a Rasta scene? Okay, fucking Ken Jennings. Guess what? It's Archimedes now. Thought Archimedes was the bath guy? You're thinking of Eureka's Castle. Which of the major ancient philosophers would be a flat earther? Bro, I don't think any of them were that smart. You give me a bathrobe and 60 years spent just talking with my lads, I'll come up with some better shit than, like, Plato ever came up with. The only real one is Diogenes. And I know nothing about him except that he, like, told jokes and lived in a wine barrel. He didn't take himself too seriously. It's kind of like history's first drill. What about Marcus? I don't consider Marcus to be a philosopher because he had a real job. He was an emperor, and he just did philosophy on the side. It's like the best streamers are not actually streamers. They're like, oh, I work at NASA, but then, like, in my off time, I also stream Kerbal Space Program. The worst streamers are the ones who are like, I'm live 14 hours a day. You're like, oh, fuck, here we go. Chat, did you ever realize how hard it is to fucking make a phone call? Here we go again. Which one are you? The second one. For sure. I was thinking about it. I might be so normal that I'm weird. Let me give you a data point. I think I went to like 4 grocery stores this weekend. I don't mean weird by streamer standards. I mean like weird by like even normal people standards. Why? Because they were fucking there. And you always need something from the grocery store. You don't always have to go in and be like, I'm gonna buy like a bunch of frozen chicken breasts. Sometimes you just go into the grocery store and you're like, oh, a drink, a snack, something for later. You know, oh, well, we could always use garbage bags. Then you get home and you're like, oh, we already had garbage bags. Oh, well, you can never have too many garbage bags. I think it's just dad behavior. I mean, I do need to, like, maybe add some context. I have a 2-year-old, so, like, the number of places I can go is, like, sort of limited. Going to the grocery store is sick because you, like, always need something. And then, you know, a kid can easily go into a grocery store. It's not like taking them to a movie theater or something like that. The bar card story is Boomer Energy? No, it's not. Boomer Energy would be like, I need to get rid of this bar card. I'm going to put it on Craigslist for like $500. My ass was just like, I want to get it out of my house. I'll donate it to anybody. Anybody that can come pick it up can take it. Boomers will be like, hey, I have 3,000 baseball cards from my childhood. I don't know what any of them are. I'll take $5,000 for the whole lot. No, I'm going to put that shit on, like, I'm not even going to tell you what website I'm going to put it on. Now that I've played my hand, I gotta just leave that shit on the side of the road. You're absolutely right. I gotta now because I brought up the damn anecdote. Now I gotta load it into my fucking car and drive to Goodwill or something like that. Because God forbid if I loaded it up and drove to the Salvation Army, people would be like, "The Salvation Army is not actually a good organization." So my ass goes to Value Village. Oh, Value Village? Did you know they just sell all the donations that you get by weight? And motherfucker. Okay, what am I supposed to do? I hate when you have like a shared garbage room. This is why I don't like leaving stuff at the side of the road, because I like to think that I'm better than at least some other people. Not everybody, there's people that are better than me. Anybody who keeps their compost in their own freezer is definitely like better than me. I keep it on the counter and then just take it down more often. I'm not willing to sacrifice my freezer space for the compost. That's where the frozen French fries go. And really, like, if you have a Costco membership, you can only afford to put 2 things in your freezer anyway, because they're all so big. But anyway, regardless. So, you know, when we've had shared, like, garbage and recycling rooms, every once in a while, you'll just, like, walk down there and someone has placed an entire couch in the garbage or recycling room. And you're like, you can walk through their headspace, but you just want to, like, sit them down for a second and be like, brother, I didn't want your couch, like, to begin with. And secondly, I definitely don't want it now that it's been soaking up like 1,000 people's garbage vapor for like a week and a half down here. Like, it's just the way that you can dump your shit, but like not have to actually pay for someone to take it away. And then also you can be like, no, I didn't throw it away. I left it somewhere where someone could take it, and then it was there for long enough that eventually, like, the HOA just paid someone to take it away. Someone put a 6-foot-long wood and steel sideboard in our apartment dumpster today. That shit pisses me off, man. I'm gonna have, like, a bad tape-to-tape run one day. I'm gonna go down and, like, take our cardboard boxes down to the recycling. Someone's gonna have purchased an entire house's worth of furniture on Wayfair without having actually broken down the boxes or taken their name and address off the label. And we're gonna go up there and we're gonna have a conversation. I know one day it's gonna happen. I'll be like, hey, you seem to have left 15 extremely large boxes unfolded in the recycling. I just want to know why you think your time is more valuable than everybody else's. Just interested to know why you think like you're the only person here that's like busy. I'm a heart surgeon? No, you're not. They're IKEA boxes. Don't flatter yourself. Okay, just match speed. Match speed! The front fell off. The classic make up a guy and get mad at him. Or would you rather I do what my prime demographic always does? Don't make up a guy and get mad at him. Pick a real guy and get mad at him. Spoilers, it's always Ted Cruz. I'm starting to think that me and this Ted Cruz guy wouldn't really get along if we met in real life. Thanks, Norm. Dude, did you see the... Because it must have been the anniversary of Norm Macdonald's death, right? People were posting his favorite jokes. I've never been a huge Norm Macdonald guy, but the clip from the ESPYs, where he says like, oh, this guy won Defensive Player of the Year and the Heisman in the same year, congratulations. No one can take that away from you. That is unless you kill your wife and a waiter at the same time, in which case, what are you gonna do? Oh, man. Maybe I am a boomer, because I'm like a little too young to be laughing at O.J. Simpson jokes, but what's this game called? Hands of Torment? Halls of Torment. It's about cough drops. Halls of Torment? Oh, you mean the extra spicy ones? I'm going to call this Diablo 0.4. Favorite cough drop? I gotta be honest, like, I mean, if you have like a sore throat, you should get like Cepacol, which are the medicated ones where they tell you to like only consume one every 6 hours, or you're basically just freebasing lean. Those ones actually have like medicine in them. Otherwise, like just for therapeutic purposes, I'm a Ricola guy. Ricola is actually just candy. / marker. Halls of Torment. Wake up, honey. A new Vampire Survivor clone just dropped, but also it looks exactly like Diablo 1. I'm going to choose a hero if you don't mind. I'm going to choose this guy. He's a swordsman. This shit is like so my aesthetic, man. It looks like shit, but like on purpose. 10% damage seems crazy. We'll always take 10% damage given the choice. We're melting them. This is like Kunkka Simulator, man. We got Cleave, like right from the get-go. What's the item in Dota that gives you Cleave? Battle Fury! My reaction when the Kunkka on my team buys Battle Fury? No! You should have bought Aghanims so your boat came twice, I think. NL, he has a new eggs. What's his new eggs? Only eggs I care about. Ancient Apparition. By the way, can I tell you something? Oh, I'm very familiar with this. I had a little snack this weekend for the first time ever. I'm here to tell you it's goated. I'm also here to tell you to be very careful about where you buy it, if you're gonna buy it, because it can be very expensive. It's produced by a company called Ivanhoe. I don't know if it's available in the United States of America. I think it's called Nothing But Cheddar. It's literally just dehydrated cheddar cheese, which sounds bad, but it's actually fucking extraordinarily tasty. It tastes like crunchy cheddar cheese. Moon cheese, yeah. I used to see it for sale at the damn museum. I'll take plus 20% attack speed on my ability. They were on Shark Tank. I'm telling you, it's delicious. And my kid goes crazy for it. which is good because she could always use like more foods that are not just candy that are in the lexicon. Now I will say, if you're going to Whole Foods to pick them up, I would advise you not to. Can I tell you why? Remember, these are Canadian prices. At Whole Foods, 60 grams, $6.49. Don't shoot the messenger on this one. On Amazon, 60 grams, $2.49. As cheese, 60 grams goes a long way. I'm just saying. It's the same price as Save On. There's $6.49 as Save On? They should be calling it fucking Spend On Foods. Plus 5% crit chance? They should not be calling it Save On Foods. Daryl is wilding out. Just wait till they raise the prices when a Canucks player actually scores 5 goals in one game. I gotta say, I think we're doing pretty well. I know how to dodge. If anybody's looking for like a carry to join their static, just let me know. Even though in most of the guilds I've been in, I'd consider myself more of a like Miranda, but I could carry if I have to. It's a little Sex in the City reference, combined with a massively multiplayer RPG, if you're interested. Can you say Koopa in the funny way? No, we do cerebral bits here. We don't default to catchphrases. I leave that up to my audience. He's bald? He's bald? Hey guys, had a great stream today, but I heard a troubling revelation about NL. I just found out, according to friends of mine, he's bald. Is this true? It's beneath me. We weave intricate tales here instead. Can I tell you, by the way, you know that how in my dream I came up with that horrible joke about how, like, what's with the juices always coming in boxes instead of, like, bottles these days? How are you supposed to get the juice out of the corners? My brain came up with another one the other day. I woke up and I felt so rested. This is on like Friday or Saturday morning. I felt so well rested that I thought it was 6 a.m. when my alarm's supposed to go off, but it was actually only 5. And my brain just cooked up something. It was like, you know what it is when you wake up an hour earlier than you're supposed to, but you feel good, but actually you can go back to sleep for an hour for free? That's heaven savings time. Heaven savings time. Please clap. Because it's like daylight savings time because the clocks have changed, but it's from heaven, so it's heaven savings time. Really good one. Thank you, I appreciate that. Well, nobody's laughing now. Silence. I cancel you. Even his jokes are washed? Excuse me, a group of dictators walk into a bar, they order everybody around. That was on Thursday. I'm gonna coast on that for like, probably like the next couple of years. It ain't no joke. I'd like to buy the world a toke and teach the world to move in perfect harmony. Oh. You know what I'm talking about? Walking on the sun, Smash Mouth. I think he says buy the world a toke, brother. I don't think he's saying buy the world a oh! Smash Mouth was doing drugs in 2001. Bro, the Steve Harwell from Smash Mouth was on Celebrity Rehab when you were probably in like the 3rd grade. So every generation thinks that like drugs weren't invented until like the first party they went to in 10th grade. People have been messing their lives up for, you know, millennia. I know what you're thinking. Smash Mouth couldn't have done drugs. Their music isn't good enough. But I'm telling you, that's the real tragedy of it. Sorry. When I said, hey, I was just... The important point of the bit is not the... The important point of the bit is that Smash Mouth is not very good, okay? That's all I meant by that. Register of Halls. Register of Halls, isn't that just when you buy cough drops? But we'll stay at the haunted caverns for now. My abilities last 8% longer. Yes. Fuck that, dude. I'm taking that. Then I'm moving up to the glove here. Won't you glove me? Long gone were the times that she scrubbed me. Wake up the lake, get the cake, she's kissing me. As they do, when they do, in kissing me. You think Anthony Kiedis? That's not his name. I'm just gonna stop right there. Kiss me, please don't hurt me. Suck my kiss. Are you smacking dirty? Oh, I'm sorry. I will be taking movement speed. Maybe I kind of like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. What song is he memeing on? I'll give you a hint. It goes like... Rumpin' and stumping cause I'm in my prime. Born in the north, I'm bound to entertain ya. When I'm driving down Pennsylvania, wake up the cake at the lake, she's kissing me. Etc, etc. What do you think is your least favorite song of all time? And I don't pick something that's just like deliberately bad, you know, like Friday. No disrespect to Rebecca Black. I'm happy she's in her GOAT era. Like, what's your least favorite song of all time that is still a song? I'm gonna start. Big Yellow Taxi by the lead singer of the Counting Crows, also featuring Michelle Branch. I think that it's just, it encapsulates many intersections of things that I don't like. One of them is covers that do nothing, like, to elevate them beyond the original. They're just making them, just because, like, hey, remember this song? Another one is the Counting Crows. Yes. Hey, God. Santana Smooth featuring Rob Thomas. I know that I should hate it, but I don't hate it. I don't like it, but I don't hate it. One bourbon, one scotch, one beer. Fair. A song I could definitely go without ever hearing again. I would certainly never put it on myself. Oh, so by the way, because you guys didn't answer this, I guess you all must love Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue by Toby Keith, huh? Living on a Prayer. We don't need to go down this road again, but I'm with you. I do hate just about every Bon Jovi song. The crazy thing is that Where's my glove? Oh, I got it. The crazy thing about Bon Jovi is, like, the songs from the 80s, in my personal opinion, the songs from the 80s are not good. And that's their best songs, like, by far. The songs from the 2000s are even worse, which you wouldn't think would be possible, but it's... They found a way. Love Shack by the B-52s. I'm gonna need you to pump the brakes right there. No shot that B-52s made the worst song of all time. Okay, we're gonna do the... Everybody's entitled to have their own opinion, I'm just saying. Fitter Happier? Yeah, Fitter Happier is pretty bad. But it's not like you're hearing it on the radio. Unless you listen to a based radio station. In which case it would be the best song ever played on the radio. Who is the best artist out of these four individuals? Shawn Mendes, Ed Sheeran, Bruno Mars, I can't think of a fourth male singer. Out of those three singers. Ed Sheeran for sure, Bruno Mars for sure. I think we're getting a lot of Bruno, and then maybe a distant second is Ed Sheeran. And then Shawn Mendes isn't even in the running. Why do you hate Canadians? Where would you... Okay, Shawn Mendes versus Justin Bieber. If we put Shawn Mendes versus Justin Bieber, where are we going on that one? By the way, I agree 100%. Justin Bieber over Shawn Mendes? Man, rip to Shawn Mendes. What does he sing? He sings the other Shivers song, right? The Ed Sheeran is the baby when you suck me like that and get you close, oh, you give me the shivers. But he does the one that's like, I be getting shivers, you be getting quivers, or something like that. That's Stitches. Oh, all of a sudden it's starting to make sense. Now I was like, man, people in the music industry are really running out of ideas. Like, every song's just about shivering these days. That's true. It's notoriously cold in Los Angeles. I don't know where Shawn Mendes is from. He's serving Greater Toronto area vibes, though. Perhaps Richmond Hill, if I had to guess. Pickering. Should have known. Boy smells like the Havelock Country Jamboree. +2 for that one. Can I get some orbs? Hey, welcome to Halls of Torment. What would you like to order? Well, they never say that anymore. Am I right, fellow millennials? Me going to the drive-thru for 30 years. Yes, I'll have a 10-piece number 6 combo, please, with barbecue sauce and sweet and sour sauce. And for a drink, I'll take a medium Coke Zero. Me going to the drive-thru in 2023. Hi, well, can I have a 10-piece? Are you collecting points on the app? The world is changing too fast for me, man. You screwed up my damn muscle memory. What the hell is an app? This is McDonald's, so all you got are entrees. Can I ask a question that I mean only positive things by? I don't mean anything negative by it, but it's going to be easy to take it in a negative way. If you name your child Tabitha, are you forcing them or influencing them to become a witch? Or is it like when you have a kid and like you're in the hospital and they kind of have like a little bit of a witchy vibe? You're like, oh, we were gonna go with Jennifer, but now, honestly, she's serving Tabitha right now. What are you talking about? Do you know any Tabithas? I guess that's the question that we should start with here. I've known a couple Tabithas in my life, and they've all been kind of witchy. And again, I don't mean that in a negative way. It's like Agatha, right? Like, I know that Agatha is also a witch in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so I'm preparing myself for the bat chest, but like, I feel like if you name your kid Tabitha or Agatha, you're basically saying, like, they might be able to cast spells. And again, in fact, I'm going a step further. I'm saying that's cool. I'm not saying there's not anything wrong with it. I'm saying there might even be a little bit right with it. We could use more spellcasters these days. There's a man in a cage here.
Praise the gods, another mortal soul. I beg of you, release me from this wretched cage.
That's unexpected.
Somewhere nearby.
Okay. Help me. Gollum? I am your Gollum. You listen to me. You're just a precious, 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 precious. The concept of the Gollum video game is quite funny. I mean, it's like, I feel bad. People are like cooking Daedalic. They're just, you know, normal men. They're just innocent men. They deserve it. I mean, all they did was make like a bad game. If your ass buys like a game that has a 36 on Metacritic in 2023, your ass kind of deserves it, honestly. It's like eating poison and being like, somebody should have told me, and then like there's a big skull on the bottle. Like, you can make fun of it, but when people are like, this is everything wrong with modern games, I'm like, brother, I know you're like 11 years old, but there were shit games, like, you know, before you were born, I'm telling you. But it is funny, like, the concept of that game just existing is kind of hilarious. Like, who wanted like a Gollum game? Never really watched like Lord of the Rings and been like, man, I'd love to see what that guy's got, going on. Thoughts on early civilization architecture? I've been thinking of pivoting to like become one of those guys who's like on Twitter and is like, why don't they make churches anymore? All they make are like Pizza Huts, while also simultaneously wanting the income tax rate to get reduced to 0%. I can't believe I haven't killed the first boss yet. He's just goo. What could it cost, Michael? $10? What's your favorite style of column? With all due respect to the column heads out there, learning the differences between like an Ionic column and a Corinthian column and etc. might actually be the dumbest thing we ever spent time on in high school. Certainly, like in elementary school, cursive writing is like the reigning champion of spending way too much time learning something that didn't matter at all. But the columns are like pretty close. Like they're... I'm gonna catch a lot of heat from this from the column cells out there, but they're all like the same. Bro, what are you talking about? They're the same. Don't they just have like different, some of them have like curved up edges at one side? Why the hell do I need to know what my cells look like? Brother, you might think that because I got a degree in biology, I would take offense to that. I think you're absolutely right. I know it's like a very smooth-brained take that you can hear on any podcast. I do think that, especially in high school, we spend too much time learning some stuff that is like just academic, but not necessarily that useful I'm not saying it's bad to know things. Sometimes I get attacked for being anti-intellectual, which is by like high school students. Just crazy to me. You're forced to be in school. I was in school at will when I was already streaming for a job. I went back to school. Your ass is in like 10th grade science class going like, I'm smarter than him. Brother, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't even know where the damn signal lights are on the steering wheel yet. So now that I'm done insulting like literal teenagers, you don't need to know all that shit. I feel like once you're in university, they can be like, here's the organelles of your cell. In 9th grade, you don't need to know what a fucking endoplasmic reticulum is. You don't need to know what a Golgi body is. They should be teaching you how to write limericks and like, you know, there should be like a flower identifying class. You know how embarrassed I am that I feel like my 2-year-old child knows more flowers than me? Every time we're outside, she's like, Daddy, that's a buttercup. I'm like, oh, which one? This one? She's like, no, the yellow one. And then in university, you can learn what a Golgi body is. And that way you just are responsible for learning it and remembering it forever. Instead of like, hey, we're going to make you learn it, and then like after summer vacation, the first month of grade 11 biology is going to be learning the cell organelles again. And then after you finish that, you get 8 months not thinking about biology again. And then in 12th grade, the first 2 weeks, we're going to learn the cell organelles again. And then in university, they're like, we can't be held responsible for the high school you went to, so we're going to spend the first month learning all the cell organelles again. It's crazy that the game looks like crap, but like it must be so much work to make it look like the right kind of crap. You know what I mean? Like the laziest game you could possibly make now, Don't Shoot the Messenger, probably has an aesthetic somewhat similar to, if it's 2D, like Papa's Freezeria, or if it's 3D, like all those Unity like asset flips where it's just like a dude with a gun in a really, really bright silver corridor. You know what? You know what I'm realizing? It doesn't look like shit. It looks like a masterpiece that came out in 1996. I think I'm kind of over graphics. What do you mean by that? Well, I just like... I'm not completely over graphics, because whenever someone tells me to play a roguelite, and then I look at the roguelite and it's literally ASCII, I'm like, I just can't do it, I'm sorry. That's where I draw my line, I guess. But from... basically, like, anything that's actually graphics and not just text on the screen, up to, like, the most photorealistic game ever made, they look the same to me. I don't know if it's an age thing or it's just a personal thing. I never really liked to, I never really prioritized reading the books with a lot of pictures as a kid either. I was like, if I wanted to look at pictures, I mean, the TV is undefeated, right? Can feed you like 23 pictures a second or something like that. The games that look the best, I mean, like Halls of Torment, as far as I'm concerned, it looks amazing for what it's going for. Wild Frost, amazing art direction. So I always laughed, like, people would be like, I watched you play 800 episodes of Slay the Spire, but I just can't get over how ugly it is. And I'm like, brother, what are you talking about? It's not ugly. Your brain is looking at it, and then it's converting what it's seeing to, like, fucking organic ones and zeros. And then you're clicking on a card with a sword on it, or you're clicking on a card with a shield on it. So the whole game is just shield or sword. I don't think Slay the Spire is ugly. It's like saying, you know, I don't know, I can't think of a good example. Because I'm making it up as I go. It's like saying a calculator's graphics are shit. The real analogy crafter has logged on, thank you. Like, some games it matters, some games it doesn't matter. Like, I feel if I was playing, like, a Telltale game, the art direction matters a lot. If you're playing... I mean, Darkest Dungeon 2 is a great example. I think that game looks great. But, genuinely, people were like, there's a brain behind the locks that you're fighting on the boss. And I was like, I didn't even fucking see it, dude. Because my ass was so focused on, what should I do? Do I blight? Do I do blight? Do I need damage over time? If I do this, like, they did, you know, like, that game's all about the mechanics. The brain is there before the locks show up. I'll take your word for it. My ass is hard stuck looking at, like, this part of the screen. From here to about here. I don't think Darkest Dungeon 2 is ass. I think it's just too hard for me at this stage of my life. It's like the same thing, like, you know... I'm sure the MCATs are good at what they're designed to do. My ass is not just gonna walk up and be like, hey, I'm gonna like solo the MCATs. Takes practice. Takes a different kind of individual. You know, if you want to ace the MCATs, I think it starts with going to private school when you're like 7 years old, and then it culminates at age 35 when you actually get your degree. Dude, that would be sick if you could summon for the MCATs. You're right, summon, let me solo her for the MCATs. Dude, people who have previously beaten the MCATs can put their summon sign down, and then you get like a little shadowy avatar of them. And you gotta choose. You're like, do I go with the guy in the suit or the dude with the in the bathing suit? You never know. The dude in the bathing, the idiots would be like the guy in the suit. He's probably successful. Real Dark Soul heads, no, you take the guy in the goofy outfit because he doesn't need to min-max his armor. You always go with the dude that's like totally naked with like a fork in one hand. And then you're like, what? This guy should be funny. Then he gets in there and he just goes up to the boss and goes, and the boss just goes, oh. What does the boss do? I don't know, like ask you some shit like fucking, what organ produces insulin or something like that. Apparently the MCATs are like 9th grade health class in my head. Probably some dumb shit about like DNA polymerase. And then your whole job as a general practitioner is booking appointments 12 weeks out, and then whenever they come for the appointment, just telling them to lose 10 pounds. By the way, so like, I know I've gone off on the medical industry a little bit. It's only because they caused me trauma that I'm still working through when I had the gut infections, okay? But anyway, so remember when I smashed my thumb into the back door and like cratered my thumbnail and like bled a lot, and then all the skin fell off, and then the nail died, but it died from the bottom up, so I had to trim it back like over the course of 3 months until finally it all fell off. And now it's grown back, but there's still like a little seam in it. Just give it a sec. You can almost see it. There's like a little seam. It's getting better. In like 6 months, I think it's going to be normal. And it's now strong enough I can use it to like open aluminum cans and stuff like that. Anyway, so I went to the walk-in clinic after a few months when it was like half of a nail. The top half, weirdly enough. And the guy at the walk-in clinic basically insinuated I was trying to get like medical grade painkillers, when really I wanted him to like do surgery and like take my thumbnail off, or I don't know, just give me something like a piece of wood to bite down on or something like that. Anyway, he said, okay, I can give you a referral to a dermatologist. Gave me a referral to a dermatologist. The dermatologist didn't get back to me for like 5 months, which was faster than expected, which is fucked up as well. I get that it's not like an urgent thing, like I'm not gonna die because of my thumb issue, but still. Regardless, a dermatologist I never met before sent us a letter in the mail and said, here's when your appointment is, fucking take it or leave it. No regard for, you know, your own availability at all. So I called him back and said, guess what, I'm leaving it, because, you know, thanks but no thanks. By the time he got back to me, Mother Nature healed it itself. Then they said, sure, no problem. Then this doctor, who I've never interacted with before in my entire life, like a week and a half ago, sent out a mass email, because now I'm on their damn email list, and said, hey, Dr. Blank and Blank is leaving the clinic. Just wanted you guys to know I've accepted an opportunity that's going to take me out of the province, and I know I've had a great time with you guys building the practice over the years. And I'm like, I don't know who you are, and I've never seen you before in my entire life. Who asked? When I broke my foot, they gave me a prescription ... for ibuprofen. Dude, I got this stuff at home. It's crazy, man. I've never even done heroin. But the way that, like, we get treated by doctors, you would think that we're, like, recovering drug addicts. It's like, sometimes when I had my wisdom teeth taken out, it hurt like a son of a gun. And then I said, oh, are we done? And the assistant was like, wait, we have to give you your painkillers. And then she opened up her desk drawer and pulled out a Kirkland Signature bottle of like ibuprofen and just poured, like, she didn't even like count it out, she just poured like a whole bunch into the bag and gave it to me. I'm like, the hell am I supposed to do with it? I could buy this shit at the convenience store. I need like 2 Tylenol 3s to get me through the next day, and then I can take the ibuprofen. But apparently John Mulaney can get whatever he wants. All he's got to do is take his shirt off at the doctor's office. My ass shows in with like a broken thumb and like a completely fucked gut microbiome. And they're like, have you considered drinking more water? I'm like, how stupid is your average patient? You don't think that I tried that before I said, let's wait in the emergency room for 10 hours? If I had to do a tier list of all the doctors who saw me during the Salmonella Campylobacter infection, I definitely have to say the bottom tier is the guy who, when I said I had diarrhea for 13 days straight, said, well, we usually don't worry about it until it's been 14 days. So I guess just go home and see what happens. That guy should probably change specializations, I think. Everybody else, I think that they were mostly doing their best. I just picture him like at the bar. You won't believe the idiot that came into the walk-in clinic today. He'd had diarrhea for ... 13 days straight. Everyone's like, what an idiot! Anyway, we've talked about this too much for, it's been like 11 months or something. And the other reason I keep bringing it up is because the saga's like still going on. So I mentioned that like we were trying to get life insurance, but then the insurance like underwriters were like, oh, you had this medical incident last summer, so we need to talk to your doctor to get more information before we approve it. They're like, you didn't have a follow-up CT scan that you were supposed to have. And I'm like, nobody fucking told me about a CT scan. So then my doctor's office left like 8 voicemails on my voicemail, and I had to make an appointment with the doctor to talk on the phone. I had to call the office to make an appointment to have the office call me to talk about this CT scan that nobody told me I was gonna have, and I already know what it's gonna be like. The doctor's gonna be like, do you need a CT scan? It seems like you're okay. And I'm gonna be like, I am okay. And they're gonna be like, why do they want you to take a CT scan? And I'm gonna be like, because I was sick a year and a half ago when nobody would. Now that I'm not sick, everybody's like, we gotta get you in for a CT scan and a colonoscopy, stat. I'm glad that of the TikTok era shouts, Sheesh made it out, in my opinion, and frickin' Mint is forever lost in the 2020s. I guess we're still in the 2020s, but I think it obviously is going to be different, like person to person. Well, I'll just walk into that, I suppose. I think like and I can only speak for myself, which is why I'm saying in a man's life. In a man's life, there's like a few eras, okay? When you're a kid, you're silly. Because you're a kid. You're just having fun. You can get away with it. When you get slightly older, let's say, you know, teens to early 20s, you define yourself by no longer being a kid. You have independence now. You take yourself far too seriously. You find yourself trying to fix problems in the world that, like, you don't have the expertise. Why is traffic a thing? We should have subway cars where you can just say exactly the building where you want to get off, and the subway car detaches your car and drops you right on top of the A&W, so I don't have to walk 3 extra blocks to get to where I'm going. And now that I'm in my 30s, I definitely went through a self-serious phase. I'm not going to disagree with that. Now that I'm in my 30s, I've gone right back to silliness. I've returned to my childhood silliness and realized it's just funny. It's just funny to be like a little bit goofy. Maybe I'll get serious again at some point. I don't know. I'll face some kind of like trauma or tragedy in my life that'll make me serious again. I mean, it's a average male lifespan in Canada's got to be like 78 years or something like that. It's a long road. I'm sure you go through ups and downs. Right now I'm enjoying my silly phase. I feel like kids also keep you silly too, because you spend all day doing like silly improv that makes no sense. Mushrooms helped me find the silliness again. I hear you. That's sort of like how I felt when I rewatched the Matrix trilogy. I've never done hard drugs like that, so I don't know how they would impact me. They're the softest drug? Nope. The softest drug, you wouldn't know this because the media put out a hit on it. The softest drug is actually bath salts. They did a survey, and it's actually the drug. It's impossible to become addicted to it. And I don't know where I'm going with this. Stop it! Stop attacking me! It's true, I'm a doctor. Rare Dr. Dub. Oh, relax. You're saving the world. Doctors, when a patient doesn't say thank you when they have an acute problem and they finally get an appointment, but the appointment is 11 months away and they'll either be healed or dead by then just due to the way that nature moves. No! I respect doctors! In fact, I respect doctors so much, I wish that there were a lot more of you so that one of them would see me in a timely fashion. He won Best Picture. Was it the picture of him getting the DoorDash order of Dunkin' Donuts from his doorstep? Is that pic of him smoking? Oh, I know the one. He's like, I know what you're talking about. It's him touching J-Lo's yacht on a... J-Lo's butt on a yacht, not J-Lo's yacht on a butt. I think that should be illegal for people to be in the paparazzi. I'm not trying to contribute to like a culture of celebrity worship, but like these people are just out there living their lives. Do you imagine what it would be like every time you got out of your car? You were hounded by people. Ben, say something fucked up. Ben, say something fucked up. And then people will be like, that's the price they pay. If they didn't want to be harassed constantly and baited nonstop, they shouldn't have made art that we liked. That's what you get for producing works that we enjoy that then makes us interested in you. Ben Affleck, if you're watching this, I support you, unless you've said some messed up stuff, in which case, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. He breathes through his skin? What are you talking about? Are you talking? It sounds like you're talking about like a frog. He is? That's crazy. I like him even more now. You don't see that many amphibians in Hollywood. Lizards, on the other hand. Am I right? Fellow insane people? But amphibians, not a lot. So true, so true. He's on fire today. I'm just saying what we're all thinking. Not true, I was thinking about pizza. I could go for some pizza this week, for sure. It's been a minute. Men always be like, oh, what do I want for dinner? Well, we could always just order pizza. Anyone else here married? What do I want for dinner? I don't know. We could always just order a pizza or something. Men, when they want pizza for dinner, you know, if you're not feeling like you want to cook tonight, we could just get like a pizza. We could just order a pizza or something. Well, if you want to. Men come from pizza, women come from sushi. My best-selling relationship novel. I've been watching Queer Eye. In Queer Eye, they're always talking about love languages. Was this a class that I missed in high school? You know what my love language is? My partner not using the limited counter space and the one sink in our kitchen when I'm also using the limited counter space and the one sink in our kitchen. Am I right? Am I right, guys? Am I right? I'm just trying to make a sandwich in here. Holy shit, +2, +2. So finally, someone's saying it. I am going to federal prison. It's the realest shit you've ever said. It's not a men and women thing though, because I do it too. Like sometimes I'll be in the kitchen and I'll be like doing something, and then Kate will come into the kitchen and start doing something unrelated at like exactly the same time. And I'm like, damn girl, why didn't you do that like before I had to come out here and get something done? And then she'll be doing something in the kitchen and I'm like, oh, my wife's in the kitchen, I want to talk to her. And then I come out and bother her while she's doing something. And then I'm like, well, while I'm in the kitchen, I might as well have a snack or like a glass of water or something. I'll just go, fucking like get in her way, and then like, oh, I see she's using this side of the island, I'll go use the other side of the island, but then she's got to walk past me to get to the fridge, and I'm gonna like move my shit out of the way, and now I'm chopping bell peppers on like not even a cutting board, just on the kitchen counter. Imagine having an island. I bought it from IKEA. I built it myself as well. I'm not trying to brag. I built a tricycle this weekend. Took me like 45 minutes. I felt like a real man. I mean, it had I didn't like make the parts for it. I just assembled it. Built maybe is not it's not the right word, but finally upgrading from the Peloton, I see. Finally a good anti-Peloton joke. That's all I'm not asking that the Peloton be above criticism or above mockery. It's a stationary bike that goes nowhere. It costs more than a bike that goes anywhere. Like, I understand the innate humor involved there. All I ask is that you mine this very low-hanging fruit for a little bit of a laugh. Instead, people are like, didn't ask, plus your bike is too expensive. And I'm like, I know. My wife's the one who pays the bill. Anyway. What was I talking about? Men do love pizza. And so do non-men. But men are always like, you know, hey honey, what do you want for dinner? Me? Nobody's ever asked me that before. Me? For dinner? No, it's a lot of responsibility. I guess it wouldn't be, if we're just looking for something easy, we could always just order a pizza or something. Going back to that joke, huh? Well, the love languages one didn't hit that well, so I wanted to go back to something that works. Is the Peloton boomer culture? No, not really. It's not culture at all. It's just a bike. You guys are you LeBron James? You're so concerned with like everything's legacy. It's Gen X culture? It's not culture. It's just a bike. It's in your tags. I'm trying to make it culture. You got me on that one. Not everything that you don't have is only for boomers. Like, yeah, owning a house is boomer core. But like listening to Ted Leo and the Pharmacist is not boomer core, okay? If anything, it's probably Gen X. Auto-rotate on your phone is boomer core? Yeah, well, you know what? Gen Z core is knowing how to turn off auto-rotate on your phone, but not knowing the interest rate on your credit card debt. Boom, roasted. Stanley, you crush your wife during sex. Boom, roasted. -2. Oh, it's the first time you've ever had a joke made at your expense? Welcome to adulthood, kid. 15 years of he's bald, making fun of the illness that almost killed him and left his child an orphan. Wait a minute. You can't make fun of me. 4 years ago, I was just a kid. Welcome to the fucking show, buddy. Get ready to learn Chinese, buddy. NL's out here dunking on toddlers. Other parents will tell you, I make fun of toddlers all the time. Not to their face, but like, if I'm at the playground and there's like another kid doing some like weird stuff, I'll like give Kate like a little elbow and be like, look at this weirdo. Look at this little weird dude here. But like, how could you not? Like when we were at the playground, this was like 2 weeks ago, Kate said that a little kid came up to her with his finger like a gun and then said, bang, I almost got you. How are you supposed to react to that? Apart from saying like, what a weird little dude. Did you guys see LeBron James post that Comic Sans photo that said money calling and then he wrote BRB, I gotta take this? I don't watch basketball, by the way, but it's he's just a funny guy, man. You didn't see that? It's like one of the funniest moments I've ever seen in social media. That's boomer core. Thank you. Thank you. About to watch some Tom and Jerry before we head to school. Another all-time certifiable classic. That's another great one. I did watch, there was a Twitter thread that was like 10 times LeBron James just fucking lied on camera. And then it was just clips of LeBron James telling, I mean, not harmful lies, but just like, just making stuff up. Like he was on like ESPN somehow talking about soccer. And then he's like, oh yes, when I was in England, I had the opportunity to go to like to see your football club play. And then they were like asking him questions about Liverpool, and he was like, yeah, I wasn't around for that, but when I was there, I had the opportunity to see you all play, and I just really respect like what you're doing over there.
You own 2% of Liverpool. How does that come about?
I read about the franchise and how amazing it is, you know, and I actually made a trip over, you know, to Liverpool as well, and see all the sights and the arena and everything. So it was pretty unique.
Yeah, Crouchy is actually a Liverpool legend. He used to play there. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I knew that. I didn't get an opportunity to see him play when he was with the club, but I definitely knew that.
The current captain, Jordan Henderson, just scored his first goal for England the other day. It was amazing to see. You a fan of his?
No, absolutely, and I saw a clip of that too. I didn't get an opportunity to actually see the game live, but I saw that he was able to score one in the match the other day, and I thought that was it's pretty unique, the fact that he would do that and then also be with Liverpool Football Club.
The Godfather one I forgot about, and I really must stress, I know basically nothing about LeBron James's playing career. I only know him as a celebrity, basically.
This is a question not related to the game, but since it has been a lot of publicity yesterday and today about Godfather Part 2, which is the scene or the moment or the phrase or the quote you like more from the movie?
Oh, from The Godfather. It's too many different phrases and too many different lines in that movie to just categorize one.
But which is the one which inspires you, represents you more?
I mean, each movie is 9 hours long. I mean, what do you want me to do? I mean, there's so many. I don't know. I'll let you pick one, and I'll roll with it. It's a great trilogy.
But him saying that he watches The Godfather like once every few months, and then a journalist said, what's your favorite quote from The Godfather? And he's just like, oh, you know, there's just too many to mention. And the journalist was like really, like, just any quote from the movie would be fine. And he's like, I just can't do that. Like, I mean, how could you possibly do that? There's so many. He's just, I don't even mean it in a negative way. It's just really funny. Yes, Jonathan Bernier, ex-NHL goaltender, did indeed. He was asked how he felt about Nelson Mandela. And what did he said? Something like, I never had the opportunity to play with him, but from what I hear, he's like he's an NHL legend or something like that. He's a tremendous athlete. Oh, man.
Just wanted to ask you, I mean, obviously Nelson Mandela, one of the most significant historical figures of the 20th century. What knowledge or awareness did you have of him growing up, or when did you learn of him?
Well, obviously growing up, he's one of the most known athletes in the world, and a lot of impact in any kind of sport that he did, and even playing hockey, everyone knows him, right? From being the type of person that he was off the ice and on the ice, and it's so unfortunate that he passed away a year ago. But he changed a lot while he was with us, and he's a tremendous guy. I just think the way he met that is, to me growing up playing sports with my parents was something really special, because I can share, try to be a leader, try to share things and things like that, where when you're a group sport, you need to do that, right? You need to be as one, and I think that's what he meant. And I think sports is very powerful. A lot of people obviously love to play the game. It can be hockey, basketball, football, and a lot of people watch that, and I think that's kind of the message I personally got from that.
That's another classic for sure. Oh, well, it's like there's a lot of stories of hockey players not being that intelligent. I don't expect them to be smart. I don't mean that, like, they shouldn't expect me to be good at hockey either. At least they got one thing. I'm good at nothing, brother. I'm not even good at video games. I spend like all week playing them. It's crazy. But like, there's this story about like Taylor Hall in the NHL failed his boating license, and it's a test that you like mark yourself or something. Just some comical stuff. I mean, at one point, when I was maybe like 20 years old, to get a summer job, I had to take this online certification called Smart Serve. It's basically like one of those courses where you're like, this shouldn't really need to exist, but somebody must have fucked something up. So anyway, it's basically like don't serve alcohol to people who are visibly intoxicated or under the age of 19 years old. So while taking the test, like I passed it, obviously, because every question was like, a small child walks into your bar and orders a beer. What do you do? And you're like, refuse service. I give him 2 beers because it must be his birthday. Like, those are the other, it's multiple choice, right? But I think that's roughly the level of your boating exam. I mean, like, it's very easy to understand how you fail your driver's test. I don't even mean the driving one, which is easy enough. I mean, like, the ridden one. I'll be honest with you, I think you have to get an 80% in Ontario to get your learner's permit by passing the ridden test. I definitely passed my ridden test on the first try. In the modern day, I could not tell you what 80% of those signs mean. I know stop, yields, wrong way, one way, you know, must right turn here, no left turn here. But there's some of them are like, you know, you're just never going to see them, or you might see them like a couple of times over your entire life. But I could see how people would fail that. But like, how could you fail your boating exam? It should be like one question, and that's like, you know, should you be drunk driving your boat? And the answer is no. And then they give you the keys. What is the blue part? I'll +2 you for that one. There's a lot of flags with meanings. Really, just like on a lake? Like if you're in the ocean or you're like sailing, I think you should have to have a degree. But I feel like if you're just like on a lake, your ass is just... You're just a guy. I don't know what else to say. I feel like it's like needing a license to walk on the street or something like that. Like, I wish people walked, you know, single file or maximum like 2 across on the street as well, but I'm not saying they should have their sidewalk privileges taken away. I think you should have to pass a test to prove that you can drive a car. Boo! I will say, it's getting crazy out there. Driving's getting crazy. I don't know why I'm phrasing this like as part of my stand-up bit. Oh, if it goes over well, maybe we'll put it in there. Anyway, along with the men love pizza, women love sushi bit that everybody loves so much. Especially like driving in the summer gets hard here, because like everybody on the road only cares about getting to where they want to go as fast as possible, and if you had to die for them to get there 5 seconds earlier, they would take that trade 100 times out of 100. But then also, you have cyclists who are just doing whatever, and I mean that in a positive way. They're not, you know, offending me. They're just trying to get to where they're going or like get some exercise, but it adds another level of complexity. Some of them are respecting the rules of the road, some of them aren't. And then you get the pedestrians as well, some of whom, nothing, of all the vehicles on the road, now these haters will say these are not vehicles. Of all the vehicles on the road, nothing annoys me more than me like having to turn right in my car. The light turns green. There's a pedestrian on the sidewalk that is facing like they're going to cross the road. The walk signal turns on, and I'm like waiting for them to walk, but they're just looking at the light, and I'm like starting to inch forward, and I'm like, I don't want to start making the turn because I'm going to kill them. And then they're like looking around, and then they look at the light and they're looking around, and I'm like, the guy behind me is pulling out a gun to shoot me if I don't take this turn in 0.25 seconds. So he can only be an hour and a half late for his kid's birthday party. And then like I go to make the turn, and then they're like, oh, the light changed. And then I gotta make a left turn after that, but there's like people are crossing but they stop crossing because they're like, you go ahead, you're a car, you go ahead so you don't kill me. But they don't see that there's a cyclist that's coming straight in the other lane. So they're looking at me going, come on, come on, come on. And I'm pointing at something that they can't see going, if I turn now, I'll kill this person. And the guy behind me is pulling out a bazooka to shoot me because I haven't killed 2 people here just to get into my garage a little faster. We need to make Midgar a reality. Pedestrians walk on the base layer. Cyclists ride up a little ramp, and we build a whole new road network 10 feet above the ground. And then cars drive up a 20-foot ramp, and they drive on a second road in the sky. Then you only have to worry about it when you're crossing the plains. What if a cyclist falls off? They should get better at biking then, honestly. Cyclists, when they get hit by another cyclist and thus can't blame their fractured rib on Henry Ford. I'm a cyclist myself, just because my bike doesn't go anywhere. Oh, you're gonna gatekeep me? I'm saying I'm a friend of the cyclists, okay? I was gonna say I hate everybody on the road, but I realized I'm actually like a society lover more than a society fighter. It's just that the squeaky wheel gets the damn grease, you know? The people who annoy you get your attention because you notice them more. I've been trying to do a much better job of noticing patient people on all vehicles. What's a patient driver look like? They don't honk at you when you're just waiting to turn your car and not run into a pedestrian. What does a patient cyclist look like? They stop at the stop sign. What is a patient pedestrian? Listen, you might be a hater. I do this sometimes. If I'm crossing the street, but I see that the car is trying to turn left, for example, and is having a hard time doing so, I'll wait and wave them forward and just go ahead. Because I know sometimes you'll be waiting like to turn left for 35 seconds, and then there's a brief quanta of time where no cars are coming in the opposite direction, and then somebody on the sidewalk is just like, this is the perfect time to cross the road. That's all. I'll hit you with a little point and a wave at that point. I'll just cross after. I'm not engaging in a war on cars every time I walk outside. I'm just trying to get to the damn restaurant, and I'm trying to unite society at the time. At a four-way stop, no, never. I would never. At a four-way stop, you have to respect order. This is different. A lot of people in chat are saying you should never give up your right-of-way. There are times, listen, I understand, like in Dayton, Ohio, it might be a little different. There's times in the city you might need someone to give up their right-of-way just for a second so you can actually make a left turn. Because they haven't invented protected left turns in Vancouver yet. I'm hoping like at some point it happens, but it has not happened yet. And the same thing, if I see somebody that clearly wants to change lanes, like into my lane, I always slow down to let them in. The only thing that annoys me is when someone wants to get into my lane, but then they speed up and get like 6 cars ahead of me and then get into my lane. Then it's on. That's all I'm saying. Some motherfucker's got to turn right at the next intersection. He's in the right lane, but just decides that someone driving the speed limit is going too slow. Have to get around them, zip past 4 cars, and then make the stupidest right turn of all time to actually... I stand the patient. When I'm outside, whether they're in a bike or a car, if you're patient and you're not in a rush and you give people space and just make it easier for everybody, we can be friends. Vehicularly. I don't know about socially. Also, I know we've been down this road many times before. Stop me if you've heard this one before. I vow to never honk in anger. I only honk if it's to avoid an accident or stop someone from hitting me. I will never honk just because I'm upset. I can process my emotions healthier than that without hurting other people. That's what alcohol's for. I'm just joking. It's coconut pineapple bubbly. Honk to tell someone they did something wrong after the fact? I would never. I would never. I feel like most people know what they did wrong after they do it. I don't want to make the other people around me feel like they're making a mistake. Anytime I hear a honk, I always assume that it's like me that's done something wrong, even though I could be like the 4th person in a 10-person line, just waiting to go straight and barely moving. Hello. Smiley face. Are you ready to go live? Also, America, answer for your crimes. Why is the stock market closed on Memorial Day? It's all fucking computers, man. There's no old-timey Chicago dude in suspenders down there. Oh, 1 share of NVIDIA. I've got a buy order for 1 share of NVIDIA. 1 share of NVIDIA. 1 share of NVIDIA. I got you for 1 share of NVIDIA. It's just beep, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, boop. Just keep the thing open. Huh? Just keep the fucking thing open. Come on. I haven't really thought about it. All-time great messages to receive from my wife. I'm ready to go live, plus you can eat the fried rice. It's delicious. I typed POG in response to that. Fried rice. Fried rice. You're telling me you fried this rice? Nacho husband. I wish, man. You could be like a nacho husband for like 1 day a month or something like that. This sounds pretty good. I don't know. Just trying it on for size. Many people are saying this.
I remember when I was, I don't know, I think I was like 7 years old, and I don't know if I heard from someone or something like that like flipping the middle finger was like a huge insult in Western culture, and I was like, oh man, I better lock my middle finger so that I don't accidentally, you know, just get my middle finger too excited. I don't know, I got way too scared about like how like, oh my gosh, like I should like hide my hand, you know what I mean? Like I'm like my middle finger, like I need to hide it or something. I'm too scared. Like I don't want to get beaten by the foreigners or I guess they're not foreigners. I was the foreigner. And then one day I was in Italy, and like you know how kids are stupid. I was like, man, wouldn't it be crazy if I just like flip someone off? But I was so scared. So I went into my hotel room, I opened up my backpack, and I put my hand in my backpack, and then I flipped middle finger for 1 second, and I was like, oh my god, did someone see me? Is police gonna get me? And then that was the only time. Ever since then, I never flipped, I never flipped at anybody, but like that was my ever raising my middle finger. I thought for some reason, like if I raised my middle finger, like some like alarm will go off, like and this little girl just raised her middle finger, catch her. I have unresolved trauma shit. What do you mean? That shit is not trauma, man. How is that a trauma? That is not trauma. I got insane amount of traumas in my life, but that ain't a trauma, dude. She was a kid trying things out. I was only 7. They're still searching. Oh no, I can never go back to Italy anymore. Ice Age DVD is a real trauma. I put that in the real trauma for sure. The Oni mask, that's like a huge trauma. Out of all the umbrella of traumas, I would put that high up there. Probably like number 1 or 2. Probably number 2 or 3 actually. Lots of trauma in my life. But Oni mask, with sister freaking wearing like hideous red demon mask, but then like it came with hair, curly black hair. Motherfucker. She like freaking woke me up in the middle of naps and be like, oh my god, the house is on fire, okay, wake up, and I freak out, wake up, and there's a fucking demon in my face. Oh, and she did that many times. Oni Mask, Jurassic Park, Ice Age, DVD, Game Boy. those are traumas. Well, I got more traumas, but those are the known traumas. The tooth pulling one is the worst. What? That one is not that bad. It was like, if you were there to see me getting my tooth extracted by my high school sister with a wrench, that's pretty bad. But like, they really gaslit me, saying like I was a pussy to be like scared. It's just like, nothing can go wrong getting like your baby teeth out. So like, stop being a pussy and just like, you know, get a grip and just open up your mouth. And I was like, bro. Yeah, my mom was just like, stop wasting both of our time and just open up your mouth. And I was like, but I'm scared. And then my sister is like, oh, I want to be a dentist when I grow up, so you can be my guinea pig. And then she got like the wrench, and then she was like, dentists use this wrench to get the teeth pulled out. I don't know how to use it, but I guess it's like you just pull it, right? And then I'm like, what the fuck? And then like she pulled my teeth out. It was like molar too. It was a molar, so it was like insanely painful. So she's a dentist now? Yeah. She is. She is a dentist. She you know, I was a guinea pig, and you know what? She is a dentist. She did a good job. I don't know if she did a good job, honestly, but I don't know. I guess I didn't die. Holy shit, she knew her life calling so young. My sister was like very insane. The funniest thing is that whenever I have all the memories of like how insane she was, and then I like, hey sis, remember when you were like this insane? And she's like, what? No way, I'm not that insane. I'm like, are you kidding me? You were like freaking insane. And then like I will tell her the story, and she's like, nah, she's making shit up. And my nieces, they're like, oh, please tell the stories when my mom was crazy. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't want to, like, and then they're like, this is so funny. My mom, insane? What? And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I need to protect my nieces and my sister in a way. Even though she was insane, like, I cannot really tell the story. I did tell the story where, another trauma incoming. I was just I told you this before. I was just watching TV. And then my sister came home, and then she said, hand over the remote controller. And I said, nah, I'm watching. And then she's like, bro, give me that remote. And I said, nah, you can watch it after I'm done. And she said, you fucking bitch. And then she like choked me. Like, she held me up high in the air, because we were 6 years apart. So I was in kindergarten and she was in middle school. So she like held on my, like, I don't know, like choking grab, but then you can, like, she lift me up in the air, so my legs were dangling, so I couldn't breathe. And then I was like, like, I was dying. I was like I was like coughing and choking. I was like, and then she said, next time when I tell you to give me the remote, you fucking better give me the remote. And then she like tossed me on the ground, and I just like got freaking thrown onto the ground. And I was like, holy shit! And I just went into my room. I was like, what the fuck was that? And I told the story to my sister and my nieces. And then my nieces thought that was hilarious. They were like, what? My mom did that to you? Ha ha ha, that's so hilarious. I'm like, that's not really hilarious, but I guess, like, maybe you find it hilarious. And then my sister's like, nah, you're exaggerating. I didn't really do that. I'm like, did you really not choke me? Because, like, you choked me. And then she's like, well, you know, back in the days, like, everyone did that. Like, I know my friends did worse to their younger siblings. Like, you know, you should be lucky. And I was like, getting choked by my own older sister, I don't feel lucky at all. And then she's like, you know, that's how kids grow up. Don't worry, just forget it. And I was like, I don't think I'll ever forget that. Because, like, It was my first time ever getting like choked, and I felt like I was gonna get like killed or like passed out. So like nah. And then like at the end we just like laughed and that was it. She was insane, dude. My sister was insane. She must be the one of the most like insane but normal. Like she was like insane, but now she's an orthodontist. Like she's normal now. After she got married and gave birth to 2 beautiful girls, she became normal. But like until then she was insane. Like I hear like my sister's like, oh my friend, like she like beat their younger siblings with like the golf, what's it, like the sticks or whatever, and like I was like, what the fuck? Like, so my sister was telling me that I'm lucky that I didn't get any bruise or any like scars, and I'm like, motherfucker, that shit is crime. K-drama abuse is realistic. Oh, dude, bro, so true. It is realistic. But that's another trauma. Getting, like, it wasn't like 1 second of grabbing and I choked for 1 second. Like, she was like dangling me. I was like, like I couldn't breathe, and like feeling the air like not entering my lungs and panicking and my feet dangling up so I cannot like stand to breathe. Like that shit was horrifying. And then there's another trauma. This one is also pretty big in my life because like I don't really like swimming pool or the beach or water because like I was in the swimming class. You guys know this story. I was in the swimming class and then we were learning about the butterfly stroke, and then the boy thought it would be funny to push me into 2-meter deep pool and I fell. Like I didn't know anything and I just got pushed into the pool and I panicked. And it was our first time being in the 2-meter deep pool. So I was like, I remember I actually passed out. I was like, it's so stupid how, you know how people drown? They're trying to breathe underwater. So like, you know how, imagine trying to breathe underwater. You're just drinking water through your nose into the lung. And that's how people drown. That's what I was doing. Cause like I panicked and I needed like when someone panics, I think it's just like it's just our instinct that like we just like take a huge breath, and that like takes like that was underwater. I was like 5 years old, and I drowned. I passed out, and then thankfully I survived because the swimming instruction quickly found that a kid was drowning, so like he rescued me. But after that I'm done with the swimming. I don't need that shit anymore. She survived cereal. But I mean like I got a lots of trauma shit. But let me tell you, what was the thing that you said? Oh, the flipping the finger. Me too scared to flip the finger is not a trauma, let me tell you. That shit, I just don't want to make anyone upset, I guess. When is Dr. K collab? Holy moly. Dude, I am broken. You know how, like, you cannot, like, fix something that's broken? Sometimes you can fix it, but I'm just broken wheel. I'm okay. I'm still spinning. Still broken. Cannot undo the brokenness. She's the Joker. Aware. I don't know how. I bet in multiverse, many of Kate's died. I actually had really close call at the wooden roller coaster at PNE in Vancouver. If you type like wooden roller coaster PNE, it gets like accidents once a year, and they only operate during summertime. And it's the wooden roller coaster, so like it's super like dated. You know how like roller coasters, like the safety bar thing, it's not just the little tiny bar that just kind of closes you into the cart. It's like the like it hugs your shoulder and everything, right? But this wooden roller coaster, it's super old. It was just a little tiny metal bar that just hugs your lap, and there was like a huge gap in between as well. And then one day we're just going down, or like me and my friend, we were riding the wooden roller coaster, and then we were at the middle seat. Thankfully, we weren't at the front. And then as it was going down, the metal bar unlocked, but my friend, like, she kind of held on to the metal bar, so like she was okay. But then I'm super light, like I'm like super underweight. So as soon as that shit happened, I like flung out, and my friend, she held on to me, like she, like, I don't know, I think it was like a human instinct, like she just like grabbed onto my clothes, and then I basically bolted out of the seat, but I was hanging on because of my friend, and then I sat back into the seat in midair, and we were like, holy fuck! You almost died! And I was like, I almost fucking died, dude! That gotta be the, like, really close call. And then second closest was, another ride. It was in Korea, another amusement park ride. It's like, it spins really fast, but it's also on a track. So it's kind of like a roller coaster, but then it spins and it's in the dark. It's a dark ride. And that one also, the safety bar thing got unlocked during the spin. And then probably not, I don't know, if I got unlucky, I would have gotten murdered. But there was like a little like side handle on the side of the car. So I got flung out of the seat, but I held onto the side of the metal bar, and I literally like dangled outside the seat. And then when the ride was done, I just like put myself back into the seat. So if there was like a footage of like, I mean, it's a dark ride, so I don't know if they have like a footage then, but like you would see like 7-year-old kid getting like flung out of the seat. Do I still ride roller coasters? Hell yeah, dude! I was traumatized by the roller coasters, but then like the metal bar thing, like, I think I'll be worried if I were to. I have never gone back onto the same wooden roller coaster, hell nah. But then obviously the new roller coasters, like, it's not just like a shitty old metal bar that just like, you know, helps you so you're not like, you don't get like flung out of your seat. Like, they got the whole, like, you know, like they hug your body, like they make sure that you don't freaking fly out of it. So like as long as, you know, it's like reliable, like, then I don't mind. But if it's like, you know, like from like some shitty ass amusement park, probably I'm not gonna risk it again. I think PNE still has the wooden roller coaster, but definitely if you are visiting Vancouver, I don't recommend you to take PNE wooden roller coaster. It literally gets accidents once a year, like every year.
Komodo Town. Just took out Komodo Town. I just got downed. You know, revived me. Now we're heading eastbound. Now we're at the gates of Canada. See the boss and kill him later. Take me to Canada, wanna kill the boss. Stop the Mongol invasion. And lives been lost. I really want to Tsushima with you. You could be the ghost of Tsushima. The ghost of Tsushima.